Hello, everyone, and welcome to He Makes Me Play. I am Marius, and I'm blind. I cannot see, and therefore I make other people play video games. And today, this honor falls again to my good friend Vincent. Hello, Vincent.
Hello, Marius.
Yes, I'm so glad to be back with you streaming in a time where much strikes are to be had.
Yes.
In Berlin and the larger Brandenburg area, which has been our bane since the start of the year, basically.
Yes. They are at this very moment striking.
That's true. Yeah, no trains go, but Vincent came a day early.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We had some pizza, but like we do not hesitate to take such burdens on our backs just to play video games
Yes,
on the correct day.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Thursday or not at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, I believe in habits
Uh-huh.
and schedules
No,
and so on.
you're right.
And speaking of which, we have a new habit of starting our wonderful stream with a sort of podcast talking segment.
Yeah.
And I would say, Vincent, let the talk commence
Don
now.
Solarione, hello.
Hello, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Just
Welcome
in
to
time.
the world's greatest live RPG podcast. I have decided that is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
We did actually talk about it. I think the topics for this podcast are RPGs, game design, storytelling, and what did we say?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's not true. I totally told you. Vincent is lying to you. What a great way to start the podcast, Vincent. No, I think that. Or do you agree that? I mean, it's not really a. How do you say? That's not meant to be prescriptive. It's really just what we talk about anyway when we are streaming and just sort of talking.
Yeah. We've
Those things.
been sitting
right?
here for
Yeah.
like 2 hours, and that's
that's
what we
true.
do.
But so what's been up? Like you said earlier, you indicated to me that you had something to talk about.
Yeah.
So
because,
I have some stuff, but I'll keep that for later, and nothing super that we can actually talk about. So go ahead.
I told you already that
Chiara Sioio, howdy partners.
Hey, good to have you with us.
Hello. Partner.
Yes, we are cowboys now. Did you hear that?
Yes,
I
apparently.
always wanted to be one.
Well, if you're a druid, you at least can turn into a cow.
It's true. And if you're a boy, you're anyway. We're off to a great start. Quality content.
So what I wanted to
Yeah,
talk to you
please.
about is after finishing my Total War campaign, which was
Yes, I remember the
Great.
nuclear rats and stuff.
I
learned
did
a
not
lot.
play the nuclear reds, but I do plan on playing them in the future. They do sound promising.
Yeah, I mean that made me more excited about that game.
Yeah,
learning that stuff.
and also I looked more into the Chaos faction and lots of raiding, and that sounded pretty good as well. I might look into that. But I finished my high elf run with the dragons and all that. Good stuff.
Did you win? Did you beat the game?
Yes. And
good.
surprisingly, not by beating everyone into submission
Oh,
like
no.
I did with the vampires.
Is there like in Civ? Is there like a space victory in Warhammer Total War? Where you can win peacefully?
Yes,
Really?
actually, there is.
Is
Because
this a spoiler? Or why are you being coy?
no, I was just. I'm so used to playing the bad guys
Yeah.
that I had to actually think. But yes, that's what I did as a high elf. The victory conditions. One of them is to control certain areas of the map,
Yeah.
like certain capital cities and stuff like that. And if you are a military ally to the faction that currently controls that city,
Yeah.
then that also counts for your victory condition.
Then you can be sort of peaceful with
Yeah.
some people.
So
Who was your ally?
basically everybody at
Oh.
the end. So we
That's not exactly Total War, is it?
no
It sounds more like Total Harmony.
yeah, kind of. But I was allied with dwarves. I was allied with humans. I was allied with other high elves.
Wow.
We did kill a lot of orcs, and we did kill a lot of dark elves and chaos factions.
So you
and,
just play Lord of the Rings and you beat all the Mordor people into a pulp. Okay.
and it was good after playing basically Mordor for
Yeah.
multiple campaigns. It was good to be
You
friendly with your neighbors.
you really both sides the issue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that was
Yeah.
good fun.
I'm glad you had a satisfying experience.
Yeah. And after that, while looking through some of the older games I had sitting in my accounts,
Right.
I stumbled upon the Talos Principle.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's a game on my list.
Well, you can't play it with me anymore.
Did you play it?
I played it, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that is a game that you want to be fresh when you play it, right? You're playing that for
What
the
do you
second.
know about it?
Oh, I just heard other people talk about it a little bit, and just like, okay, here I have one scene from it in my mind. Okay, that I liked, and it characterized the game for me. I imagine it as a kind of adventure game. Maybe kind of like Stanley Parable. Maybe that's a kind of comparison. I don't know if it's first person, but anyway, in the game, from what I hear, you at some point you are at a computer console, like so maybe you have to hack a terminal or whatever, and then the game brings up like dialogue options for what you type in, but the options it gives you are like ASWD 1 2 3 4 5 6 like the cat walks over the keyboard, but like what you would actually do at a terminal if you're just fucking around and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of humor sort of characterized it to me already as a kind of game that isn't very replayable and relies a lot on this sort of surprise humor and stuff. And I thought, oh god, that's probably great one day to play with Vincent, and then we never did because there's so much to play.
Yeah. Well,
Does that check out? Did I tick all the boxes?
Sort of. It's not so much adventure as puzzle game.
Right.
I would link it more to Portal. It is
Ah,
first
yeah.
person.
Is it challenging?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it's more comedy, right? Like Stanley.
no, it's actually it's like around 8 hours long. And one of the issues I had with it at the beginning was that it was not challenging for quite a while.
It was
actually,
a baby game. Too easy for Vincent.
But somewhere around the midpoint, the challenges started getting harder, and there were also like optional puzzles that you can do, and they were quite hard, and it was actually a lot of fun.
Do the puzzles follow some kind of pattern, like in Portal, right? In Portal, there's famously sort of portal-based puzzles, and in The Witness, you have these weird line-connecting puzzles, right? And does Talos Principle have, if you will, a principle that it follows for its
Well,
puzzles?
the Talos Principle is actually mentioned in the game.
Talos isn't that like Greek for water? Is that true?
Maybe. I mean, the Talos Principle is entirely fictional, but it exists in the game.
What is it? What is the Talos Principle?
The Talos Principle describes a being basically that was called Talos, which was I think man-made machine that was that had consciousness basically, or that was the question of the Talos Principle. Did this being have a consciousness, and what?
Very topical for what's happening right now in the world, Vincent.
Yes. Yeah.
With AI and stuff.
And this is the entire topic of this game.
Yeah,
like
cool.
you just to tell you what actually happens in the game. So
Spoilers coming up
yes. But
for old game Talos Principle.
Yeah, and also like what I'm about to tell you was like the first hour of the game.
Right.
You wake up in first person as a robot.
Right.
And a voice from the sky speaks to you, and you are sort of in the ruins of an ancient Greek city. And you get some puzzles. They are mostly, unlike Portal, where you get a portal gun eventually, and you have these portals. I would say they are more gate focused. So you have, instead of having an item that you always have with you,
sure,
you have basically static items that you can move around,
like the companion cube.
Yeah. So you do have a box. That is one of the items that you get.
Yeah.
That you can, just like the companion cube, you can use to activate buttons, stuff like that. You
Jump
also
on it.
Yeah, you also have one of the earliest items is a jammer, that you can use to either jam gates open.
Right.
So they are just like force fields, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use them to jam the purely mechanical enemies.
Mm-hmm.
They have these floating orbs that follow clear patterns in a rhythm, and you can jam them at that very point. And yeah, you get a
This
couple of
is
more
much
items,
more
but-
mechanical than I imagined. I apparently had a very wrong impression of this game. I feel like now,
Is it mechanical?
like now it's like more like Baba is you or something. The way you make it sound, where you actually have to think.
Yes, you
Yeah.
definitely have to think.
That's okay.
Again,
I can think sometimes.
I know you can.
If the spirit takes me,
Mm-hmm.
might do a little thinking.
Again, I would say that the first few hours, honestly, were a breathe for me. I just ran through it basically, but at some point they do become pretty complicated.
I
these
fucking
puzzles.
hate puzzle games when they do that. I really do. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know this? Like in Portal, right? There's this moment in Portal. I'm not sure. Like in the first game, right? Not sure when, but I also had this experience of, oh, I'm just playing this game and I'm acing all these puzzles, right? And it's like really fun. And okay, look, now we're doing like jumping stuff with the portals and stuff. And then at some point, you go through a door and there's just this fucking anxiety chamber where it's like lasers and balls going, like platforms going through acid and all this shit. And at that point, I feel like, oh God, now I have to do homework. Like this is going to be, do you know what I mean? That it really,
Yeah.
I feel so flustered when that happens. It's not really, I don't like it.
I found it interesting because I had the same experience in this game.
Yeah,
but
I can
just
imagine.
for specific puzzles, because they introduced a mechanic later on where you get to basically copy yourself,
Right.
where you make a recording of your actions
Oh,
and then you
God.
can replay that recording.
That's giving me anxiety already.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, it made for some great and very complex puzzles,
yeah.
but it's also a lot about the setup. So every time,
Yeah, you have to plan.
yeah, instead of just trying things out, you have to, every try takes like a minute and a half. And at that point, I wasn't quite into it, but
Yeah, I can imagine.
there were also there were very difficult puzzles that I had a lot of fun with. They had, also similar to Portal, they had laser beams that you can redirect and guide into receptacles, basically.
Right.
And those puzzles were super fun because you couldn't cross them like Ghostbusters.
Don't cross the streams.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Because they blocked each other.
Yes.
And some of them were extremely complicated and needed a lot of trial and error and some weird thinking. And they were really good. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the puzzles, I would say. And
So I have a question, Vincent.
yes.
The presumably eponymous being that is conscious or not, is it conscious after all? Has it been conscious? You beat the game. You must know. Tell me.
That is debatable, I would say.
Oh, God damn it. They leave it open like
Yes.
a Bertolt Brecht theater play.
Well, so, okay. Now I'm getting into like super heavy spoilers.
Yeah, you're making me like this game less, by the way. Because
Okay.
it's like a Brecht play, I guess. No, it feels more like homework than Stanley Parable. But yeah, I mean, spoil me. Come on. Like, spoilers, everyone. You know this by now. This is what we do.
So the entire, as you run through the game and you find these consoles, these PCs,
Right.
they are your log files basically, and a lot of them just have massive amounts of text.
Does it use audio logs?
No, sadly no.
It's from when is this game? This is a little bit older, right?
Yeah,
Like
I don't
this
know
might
exactly.
even be from an era where it wasn't totally normal for every video game to be voiced all the time.
Yeah, also it's quite indie, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah. But this might be like what 2012, 13.
I think so. I don't know exactly, but
Yeah, okay.
something along those lines. So there's some voice acting, for example, the creator voice in the sky,
Yeah.
called Elohim,
Okay.
is voiced, but there is one other actor, Milton. He is the voice in the computer that talks to you. They are not voiced, and most of the logs you find are also not voiced, which is a shame because there is a lot of text. There is so much text that I skipped a good bit of it. Also because often you find on these PCs, you find like 3 to 4 texts, and one of them deals with what happened in the fictional world of the game.
Right.
Something that is directly related to your current position in the world, basically. But there's also often 1 or 2 texts about Greek mythology.
It's an
Stuff like that.
educational game. But is the mythology text, does it help you with the puzzles or something? Do they weave it into the narrative?
Mostly not. In very rare occasions. But
You're
mostly
really selling this game, Vincent.
it's, I will say it's very much focused on the narrative topic of consciousness and beings.
But I mean, you could take like Greek philosophy shit, I'm sure, right? To like to say stuff about that, like some like I don't know pre-Socratic, like I don't know Anaximander or whatever they're called. Like you could quote those people.
And then?
Well, and then like weave it in. I don't know. I didn't design the game,
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm getting angry at the game because they didn't do that. Then why have the Greek theme at all? Do you know what I mean?
well, they have actually multiple themes. You start with the Greek theme,
Okay.
and their thoughts on consciousness, and their legend lore, and then you get like 3 different worlds, basically.
And they all have different perspectives on the consciousness issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and they probably have some kind of Greek philosophy thing going on there. I have to believe that.
I believe so. Yeah, but again, I didn't read all of it,
Sure,
and also I'm not too familiar with Greek mythology, so
Sure.
bad combination. But the second world was ancient Egypt, which was much more focused on the afterlife and talked a lot about what a soul is worth and what defines a soul.
Yeah, that's cool. With like Anubis, like weighing your soul and stuff. If it's heavier than a feather, and if yes, then you don't go to heaven and stuff.
Yeah,
That kind of shit.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the last world was medieval Europe.
Sure. Yeah.
It was also
But that I love that. That sounds great. Like it's, I have to assume that what they're doing there is they sort of have 3 different, let's say, worldviews and how they relate to this central problem of like consciousness. What is it, and has this being been conscious, right? And I have to assume that somehow, hopefully, like right, that would be the coolest thing if they managed to not only like barf a bunch of text on you in their terminals that you then don't read because it's obviously boring, and if you wanted to do that, then you would just browse Wikipedia. But then, I mean, they can have that in there, but then they sort of embody those worldviews in the puzzles. That would be awesome, right? Do they? It sounds like
Yeah.
they don't do that, though.
I mean, they do through aesthetic,
Right, sure.
Right, but
that's easy. I
that's
want it through the dynamics.
about as far as it goes, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, honestly, maybe I just missed it, but yeah, I don't
Now I
think so.
kind of want to play it just to either get angry at the game or feel vindicated. I don't know.
Yeah, but those were the 3 worlds,
Yeah.
basically. And at the same time, while these stories and text posts of ancient times were available, you also read about what happened rather recently, though it's not clear how recently. And you learn bit by bit that the world, or rather humanity, it died.
It's a post-apocalyptic game.
Yes. and you find out pretty quickly that you are a robot,
Yes.
and you are living in a created world,
A simulation.
a simulation. Yes.
Right. Oh wow.
It's great. You after you finish your first puzzle, you teleport out of that ruin of Greek, and you just get into a big hall. And you think, yeah, okay, this is a bit weird, but I'm sure once we are outside, and then you finish 2 more puzzles, and you get outside, and it's just a round, slightly elevated platform on a basically snow desert. And there's nothing there. And you think immediately, yeah, this is a simulation. It works.
But it sounds like that. Yeah, that's probably not what you expect at that point in the game. Yeah.
No, I expected more, but well, it worked. So you learn about how humanity died, but they did have just enough time to do something big, basically.
What does that mean?
Well, what they decided to do, or some of them decided to do, is that they combined their efforts and collected all the resources and manuscripts and stories and lore and everything that humanity had achieved in vaults to secure it for future beings. Probably not humans.
Right.
But if ever...
Whatever comes next.
Exactly. An
Yeah,
alien...
that's a real thing. Like, I think that exists. Isn't that like called Xanadu or something? Project Xanadu? I don't know. That might be a real thing. And they either have vaults like that somewhere, which, like, it's not that hard to just, I don't know, put the... like, I'm saying that I have no idea. But I imagine it's not that hard to just put the fucking internet on, like, tapes. Right? You can't do it with hard drives because they go bad, but tapes last forever. Or like, well, very long. Anyway, you have to find some storage medium that is very durable, and then you put them in a vault somewhere, and you keep it safe. And then it might be worth it just for whatever comes next.
Yeah.
And I think the whole idea with Project Xanadu or whatever it was called, somehow that name comes to mind. The idea was to shoot it into space and I think have it orbit Earth, which is kind of smart, I think, because in a way that's a very safe place, right? If nothing knocks it out of its orbit, it's just going to orbit forever. Or for very long.
True.
And even if Earth is like, if we have like a nuclear holocaust or whatever, the orbit might be fine. It might not, actually, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah, but
Don Solarione, this plot sounds quite similar to one from the game called Soma.
I was going to bring that up. You beat me to it, Don Solarian. But yeah, he's right, Vincent. I was going to ask you, how does this compare to Soma and certain other games? Because in Soma, spoilers for Soma, you build sort of, like, I think, sort of the main character, not the one you play, but like this programmer lady in the game who you sort of chase, I think. She builds a simulation for humanity to escape into. You learn that in like the first 10 minutes, I think, of the game. You never played Soma, Vincent?
I did not.
And
I can't tell you why, because it says horror in there.
Yeah, it's a scary game. This is a problem. I may have brought this up before, but Vincent doesn't play horror games with me.
No.
I still need to find some kind of...
Fuck off.
I need a horror bitch to play Alan Wake with me and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I actually did watch a little bit of Let's Plays of Soma because I was so interested. Because that game also, not just the plot is similar, the themes, I think, also explore consciousness quite a bit, and this question of what does consciousness mean and so on.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've seen like the one very famous scene from it.
Yeah, the start, right, where it switches you into the robot.
Don Solarione, it is scary because of the plot, not the jump scares.
It's true, but I'm not sure that Vincent makes a distinction there.
No, scary either way is
bad.
bad.
I mean, I'm
just in games and movies, I guess, but not in... Anyway,
I know lots of people who just don't like horror shit, and it's fine. I get it. I just dig it. But I know that Vincent, he can't take it. I remember watching The Witch with him, which was great, and to Vincent's credit, he admitted afterwards, yes, that was a very good movie.
Yeah, that's the worst. I know these
Yes.
movies are good, and the game. I wish I could play Alan Wake, for example.
Yeah.
And I mean, Control alone was scary enough, and that's not really scary as a game. I wish I
But
could.
the problem is it's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And I get it because I also felt very uncomfortable at some point in The Witch. But there's something about me and people like me that we sort of crave for that kind of discomfort and punishment. And well, the damage is deep and forever. That's all I can say to that.
Yeah, well,
And, well, at least people like us can enjoy games like Soma and Alan Wake and stuff.
yeah.
But you didn't quite answer the question, though. Maybe it's not answerable, but about Taros principle, is the being, like, is it conscious or not?
So the thing is, this whole collection of human knowledge and science and all that
Yeah.
is not exactly how this simulation came into being, because that was the main project, and then a smaller group of scientists decided maybe we can figure out how to make the next generation of beings. And
Like the robot that you play.
yeah, and they basically created this universe
Yeah.
and gave it DM, so to speak, which is
That's the Sky voice.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
It's brilliant. This thing practically writes itself.
yeah, and Milton is I don't know if it has a specific purpose in the simulation, but it used to be the archivar of the collected knowledge.
Vincent's looking something up.
Yeah, there's just a trailer of Soma is running on the Steam page. And I'm just going to switch over.
It's too scary to even look at. I get it.
Yeah, it's just it's flashing a lot of
Yeah,
lights.
it's okay.
It wasn't actually that scary. And so the question is this being that you inhabit conscious? And
You're a robot.
yes, you are a robot, and you're not the first one either, because you frequently find messages, QR codes to be exact,
Right.
of previous iterations and tries. Some of them have names like the shepherd and I think sheep is one of them, and
Also very religious symbology.
yeah, also like some of them have names of Greek heroes and lots of interesting ones.
Right.
And basically, you have multiple endings that you can reach.
All right.
And the first one is just do what Elohim tells you. And
Yeah.
Elohim
Like
tells
in
you.
Stanley Parable.
Yes, exactly. He tells you, hey, here are all the puzzles. There are 3 words, 7 rooms per world, 3 to 4 puzzles per room. Do them all, and you get to ascend.
Right. But then you're not conscious. The secret, right? I'm trying to figure out what this game is. Although I'm interrupting you while you're actually telling me. But this way it's more fun because I might be wrong. But like that's what they tell you. But of course, the real hidden puzzle is prove that you're conscious, right? And do it that way. And of course, just blindly following orders, like that's what a robot, like an unconscious machine would do, right?
You get it.
So that ending is like the bad ending, or at least neutral. Like you don't, then you're not conscious, right?
Yeah, it's
What happens when you do that?
so at the end of it, the medieval world has a how would you call that? Like a center room
Sure.
that you can use to travel to the others. That is basically a giant cathedral with great music, by the way, like monks
Nice.
chanting, and
I am into monks. This is established.
yes, I knew I would get you. And once you have done all the puzzles that you
Yeah.
were supposed to do. The big double door at the end opens. I think they are almost identical to some famous church doors in Jerusalem. Might be wrong on that. But certainly some famous door.
Yeah.
And behind that is only light that awaits you, and you step inside
You go to heaven.
and you go to heaven. And as the player, what happens then is that the camera zooms out and you go, see basically, actually, you actually go to heaven, I think. There's like a small temple made of light and gold, and there's one last computer that you use. And basically the whole thing starts again. So
Very
you
Stanley Parable.
click the button and it shuts you down
Yeah.
and ticks the counter one up and starts again.
Right. Kind of implying that the simulation is looking for something else, the next version.
Yeah, you did it great, but not what we're looking for.
Yeah. All right. So then I guess you play it and you don't do the puzzles, find other paths through the archive.
Well, you do all the puzzles because that's always true. But what I haven't told you yet is that between the three worlds, basically, in this snow desert, is a gigantic tower. And Elohim tells you at the very start, once you go out into this hub for the first time, don't descend the tower.
A forbidden
Tower.
Yeah.
And once you enter the tower, he can no longer track you. And we see it right now in the trailer. And of course, you send it, right? Because that's what
Of course.
curious people
I'm
do.
incredibly curious about this tower now. Yeah.
And it has 6 levels. And I think you can reach the first 2 rather easily, and then you have to finish each level has its own little puzzle, not super difficult, most of them. And at the end of every level, you get the code to the next one, but you also need some pieces, basically. So after every puzzle that you do, you get what do they call it? Like a symbol? Not sure.
All right. But how does it factor into the consciousness thing?
So you reach the 5th level.
Right.
And at that point, you have basically reached the top of the tower, despite the fact that there is a 6th level. And you go outside and you start climbing stairs. And Elohim, as you walk up, tells
He can see you again because you're outside now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tells you, hey, you can at any time still return. Right? This is nothing has happened yet. Just climb back down. And the higher you go, the darker the storm clouds below you get. And he
very foreboding.
Yes. And then you reach the next bigger platform, and there you see the shepherd.
Oh.
And also, what's her name? Samara? Something like that. Who, through her messages, is very much into the whole journey and infinite repetition and all that stuff.
Oh.
And the shepherd is not that. And with the shepherd, and despite Samara's attempts to stop you, you climb further. While Elohim tells you, hey, if you continue to go up, the storm is going to get worse, and this world will end.
Wow, this is very epic. Yeah.
It's also very epic because suddenly you have like a time limit, because that storm is indeed getting worse. And if you don't understand what the game wants from you,
yeah. If you at that point you just stand around in the game, you just lose.
Yeah.
It just kills you.
I mean, it doesn't lose, it just teleports you back basically to the beginning of that entire upper part of the tower.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, feels quite epic.
Interesting. Also much more religious than I expected. I don't know, feels kind of like an Abrahamic quest where you're ascending.
Don
this mountain.
Solarione, okay, now it reminds me of Signal Eyes. Which is great, by the way.
Signal Eyes? I don't know that one.
Signalis, I think.
But
Signal
I don't know.
Either
that
way,
one
I
at
don't
all.
know it either. But
Can we look at it?
Yeah.
It might go on the list. Let's look at it on the Steam page, because when we do that, I will remember it. Otherwise, I will forget.
Signalis from 2022.
Huh.
A classic survival horror experience.
Oh, God damn it, Don Slayer. The problem is I love these games. I really, I
that's
grew
what I've
up
been saying. Horror
playing,
games are great.
Resident Evil 2 was like one of my favorite games growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. Silent Hill, man. They're so good, Vincent. Honestly,
I know.
That's a weird thing, right? I feel like, okay, I mean, obviously horror has lots of like comical examples of like just, splatter movies and stuff. But also sometimes horror movies have and games have the best writing. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just extremes, I think.
Yeah, anyway. What?
Yeah.
Well, let's have, one day we'll have a podcast episode just about horror games. I don't know.
Yeah, and I won't be there.
I don't know.
Too scary.
We need
Even talking
a
about
horror expert.
Yes.
Yeah. But let's tell me a little bit about Signalis.
A classic
Quick
survival
tangent, yes.
horror experience set in a dystopian future where humanity has uncovered a dark secret, unravel a cosmic mystery, escape terrifying creatures, and scavenge an off-world government facility as Elstar, a technician replica searching for her lost dreams.
Okay.
And this seems almost more action-focused than I expected, honestly.
And it sounds a little bit Lovecraftian.
A little bit. I can't tell if she's fighting like zombies or
Shoggoths or something.
no, definitely humanoid. But
Okay.
I'm not clear on whether it's zombies or robots
Right.
or androids or something like that. But yeah, lots of pictures of combat.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the description was vague, which makes sense. It doesn't,
Mhm.
it can't give away the secrets. But this, I don't know. I feel like we need a term for these types of games, because the other comparison was going to make a System Shock, so a System Shock 2 in particular.
Don Solarione, this is type of a game in which, if you want to unlock every secret, you have to stream game audio to real SSDV decoder to see in message.
Are you kidding me?
Also, music is great.
What the?
Nice.
Are you serious?
I mean, they had that in the Talos Principle.
Don
as well.
Solarione, it is true.
What the? You're telling me the Talos Principle has you streaming audio to, and what did Don Sloan say? An SSD? It just sounded to me like some crazy technical stuff you have to do to find a secret message or something.
SSTV decoder.
Yeah, okay.
That's what he said.
And then,
Well,
this is like when you have like Premiere or whatever, and you have like static, and you want to see the porno, and you have to decode it. That kind of shit.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. In the Talos Principle, there are like every level has these stars, total of 30, and some of them are like they are completely optional.
Oh, it's like Braid, man. This game is like it took from like everything, because there's also a little bit of BioShock in there, which of course also that's like the whole gaming series, like this huge incestuous community of games inseminating
You know,
each
I haven't
other.
even told you the best part. They have so many Easter eggs in there.
Oh, sure.
So many, and wild ones too from other games. Some of their games.
Right.
There's also like you can at some point a laser at the moon, and then it turns around and it's the Aperture Science logo.
Now it's just silly. See, this is more what I was expecting, like
There's
that
also-
that kind of tone.
Yeah, there's also through some wildly difficult jumping, you can get on top of a teleporting room, and there's another teleporter there, and if you use that, you enter into a completely dark cave, and if you follow that, you find a large hall that has a prism that has a beam of light entering from one side
Right.
that splits into multiple. And if that reminds you of a certain album cover, then you are correct.
Yes, Pink Floyd.
Because if you run up to it, the Pink Floyd song starts playing.
Oh, they didn't get copyright claim for that?
I don't know.
I guess it's a well-hidden Easter egg.
We shouldn't talk about this. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just similar to one.
Dark
But
Side
it
of the
felt
Moon.
very Pink Floyd. And it felt like hundreds of Easter eggs, and there were so many.
Crazy. But at some point it ceases to be an Easter egg, right? And it's just sort of, that's the game.
Yeah, but they are well hidden. Because, for example, for the stars, even getting to the stars is quite difficult.
Yeah, but at some point, right, if it happens so often, then that's sort of your main thing you do in the game is chase down these like hidden things. I'm not trying to slam it for that. I'm just saying it's like how, in like there are no Easter eggs in Stanley Parable, right? Because everything is like an Easter egg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly a bit like that.
But of course, okay, here's what I'm willing to give you on the Easter egg front. This is an important debate we're having. That like Stanley Parable isn't that strong in referential humor, right? It doesn't like do that Pink Floyd stuff, like referencing pop culture and other games so much.
Not really.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Maybe just with the bucket stuff and the companion cube. That's
and there
obvious.
was this whole Steam review thing.
That's true, but that's sort of see. Stanley Parable is strong on self-referential humor, but not necessarily on like having references to other games and stuff.
Yeah,
which tells like just from this discussion where we were like mentioning half of games seems to be pretty strong on.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you are correct. I think for me the last third of the game was carried by just trying to get out of bounds of the puzzle areas,
which is awesome.
To eventually find stars and Easter eggs.
Yeah,
and that was really fun.
Yeah, I loved that in Braid as well, a game where you can rewind time.
Yeah,
because that has a secret ending as well.
As soon as you involve time, things just get weird.
It tends to break people's minds. It's really, the human mind is not very well equipped to deal with like sort of time stuff.
Yeah, we just usually don't have to.
No.
Usually time just keeps going.
It's like our brain evolved in just one direction, which is forward into the future.
Yeah.
And that's it. We didn't need
it
more.
works.
Yeah.
Well, why change?
You couldn't rewind back in the forest to get another pineapple or whatever. But anyway, what happens at the top of the tower, Vincent?
So once you actually reach the very top of the tower, you let me think. How did they actually show it? I think there's another. Yeah, you again get basically teleported to heaven, and there's another PC, and you can talk to Milton one last time, which is also called the Serpent, and is constantly.
Boy, this is very symbol heavy now.
And I personally hated Milton, but he constantly asks you about basically philosophical questions.
Yeah.
And then when you talk to him again at a later point, he questions that and then questions that again and just tries to make you wonder about these philosophy questions. And
I kind of want to play it now more and also not. I don't know. I'm very in two minds about it.
Yeah, I will say this. Answering these questions with multiple choice options, kind of difficult, in my opinion.
Like as in difficult to get right, or as in like this is a questionable design choice?
Frustrating for me because I often didn't find the answer I wanted to give in the answers that were presented to me.
Right. But can you give an example? Like, is it like quiz questions? Like, oh, what did Socrates say or when he was the first time in the amphitheater or whatever?
No.
It's more about the core question, like, what is your take on consciousness? What did you learn, little robot?
Yeah, basically like that. And then what is your take on consciousness? And are you conscious? And then you can answer
what can change
yes
the
or
nature
no.
of a man?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Okay.
But yeah, like that, answering the question, hey, are you conscious with yes or no? And these are the two options you have. Which is, it felt simplified to me. And yeah, I don't know. it was fine, but also Milton was kind of pissy about it, which
Yeah.
annoyed me more.
So did you beat it at that point? Like, did you? I mean,
Yeah,
surely you found the correct
so-
sequence of answers.
At that point, you can decide to take Milton and his entire knowledge as the archiver of human wisdom and knowledge with you, or you can leave him behind, which I did happily.
Yeah, you're not very high on Milton, I can tell.
And then the whole thing shuts down, basically. And your consciousness gets transferred to another robotic body in the real world. And
Okay.
at that point, the game ends with you standing at the exit of, I think, a dam or some gigantic building, and looking out onto a city that has been grown over.
Right. Your world to inhabit because you have
Yes.
proven that you're conscious.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
And then there's floor 6. You want to hear what's on floor 6?
Of course.
Yeah, me too. So if you indeed do all the very, very hard puzzles, including collecting all 30 stars and
Right.
doing all the extra
Yeah, this
puzzles,
is the braid kind of ending. Yeah.
you get into the elevator and press the button for 6, and instead of going up, you go down.
Oh, to hell.
Not that far down, but down. And suddenly, despite being in the tower, even under the tower, Elohim talks to you again. And he tells you, you have proven your worth, and you will from now on become one of his messengers. And at that point in time, you have already met some messengers, because there are 3 of them, and you can at any point, past a certain point in the game, ask them for help in any puzzle.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What does that mean, asking them for help? What happens when you do that?
Every puzzle has this little shrine, basically, where you can write a request for help.
Okay.
And if you do actually, like, you have to collect the messenger first, which is not that hard. It just takes a while in the game to get to that point. But if you ask them for help, they give you guidance, a tip, basically, how to solve that specific puzzle.
Haven't you at that point in the game already solved all the puzzles?
Yeah, but you meet them earlier. So you can, I think once you reach World C or something.
Wait, I don't understand. I mean, you presumably you've played through the game once. Normally, that means you've solved all the puzzles once. You've done them all.
Yeah.
And then on another playthrough, you only then you go to tower level 6, where you then get this boon of being able to consult with the messengers.
Well, yes, you don't have to play the entire game again, but yes.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, that's on your second playthrough or whatever.
But so in Tower Level 6, you don't get access to the messengers. Rather, you become one of them. They help
you mean
earlier.
before? That's how you normally. Yeah, that's how you know about the messengers.
This
you
is like the help system
I
integrated
see. Okay,
in the game.
Yeah, I see.
And,
I understand now.
Yeah, there are 3 of them,
now-
and they have all like.
That's cool. Does one of them have a double jump? Like the sheep?
that
it
was
have a double
honestly.
jump?
I was.
So you can get to more Easter eggs? Because that's the whole point of Floor 6,
The game
right?
was so missing a double jump. I can't
Most
tell.
games are.
Yes.
Double jumps are great. Yeah. You know how bummed I was in Ocarina of Time where you couldn't jump at all? That was such bullshit.
Oh God, I can only imagine. What the game
Yeah.
did have, though, and I found that fascinating, was a button to fast forward. Which
But
is
how can you fast forward if it hasn't happened yet?
well, you just fast forward like you would a video. Like just
And then
the
what
world
happens?
happens faster around you.
It's just okay.
The idea is that you use it if you need an enemy to be at a specific point
Right.
to interact with them, but you can also use it while you run,
Sure.
which is wild.
It's cool though.
Yeah, it's very fun. Also, like to skip long elevator rides and all that.
Yeah. At that point,
Super
it
cool.
just gives you lots of like quality of life stuff, which is a good idea. Yeah, I like it.
I've never seen that before or since, and I really liked it.
All right. But I guess that's what you do then when you want to hunt down all the Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. You fast forward a lot. Yeah.
Do you think this third option has some kind of take on the grand theme of consciousness and stuff? Like,
well,
what is that?
So the messengers are entombed, which means these robot bodies, they don't die or anything. They are put into a sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And to activate the messenger's help, you have to first go to their island. They have these beautiful islands, and get them out of their tomb, and then they are willing to help you. And they're not trapped in there. That's just the process that you have to go through. Basically, they seem very much fine with the whole thing. And watching yourself get into this tomb, knowing that you are conscious while in there for however many years, is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just can you imagine that? Sitting in this tomb, unable to get out for decades, possibly?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You're like a weird robot person. Like you're not. I don't have the same standards, I guess.
Maybe.
And like, don't you get to inhabit them or whatever? I mean, you're not. I don't understand. Like, you're not being trapped there, right? You can still do stuff.
I don't know, Marius. The game ends there.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know. But Elohim implied that you can like inhabit the messengers, and they do stuff.
No, you become one of them.
Yes, but they've been doing stuff, right? They've been helping people, sort of.
Yeah, if anybody gets as far as you and
Right.
frees you, then you
Yeah.
can help them.
I guess it doesn't have the horrific impact it had on you, Vincent. But I'm sure if I had played it and if I had seen it, it would have also been jarring, at least.
Yes. See, that's why I don't play horror games.
Yeah. It's okay.
Even this rather simplistic
This cute little
puzzle game.
robot climbing in a
No,
box
no, no,
scares
no,
you, Vincent. It was a dark box. I don't know. I guess, yeah. So at one point, you're like an unconscious machine. At another point, you're like a conscious human. And then the third version is like, I don't know, you're the Holy Spirit, I guess. You're helping other beings
Kind of, yeah.
understand the message.
One of the messengers is called Uriel. So,
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the other one, I was thinking, like, okay, is it like, right? I'm trying to decode this fucking game without having played it. But is the shepherd, like, does that stand in for Christianity? Samara sounds like Samsara from Hinduism and Buddhism and stuff. And then you have the snake.
It was Samsara.
It was actually called that. Well, not being super subtle here,
No,
Talos
no.
Principle.
No.
And then you have.
Also,
Yeah.
again, spoilers for the very end of the game.
Oh, we're well past
Yeah,
spoilers, Vincent.
Guess who the shepherd is?
Jesus Christ.
No, it's the sheep. The sheep that
Oh.
constantly is questioning and feeling weird about the whole thing and wondering what's in the tower and all that. And then they climb up and become the shepherd and lead future generations.
What a twist. Literally a twist. Yeah. Anyway, and then you have the snake, right, which is also all
Milton,
over
yes.
religion. Yes, which is in Genesis, right? The snake gets Eve to eat from the apple of wisdom.
Yeah, and just
tree of
like
wisdom.
the snake in that story, Milton also wants the player character to question Elohim and ascend the tower.
Yeah,
and
to,
question
like,
himself
yeah.
and
Maybe they-
regain consciousness or gain consciousness.
Yes, to sort of evolve. And then you kind of become one of those things, I guess. It's one of your choices,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
basically.
I see what they sort of did there. I mean, with your explanation. It seems kind of cool, but now I don't need to play it anymore. It's
Yeah.
okay.
No, I honestly, looking back at it, I don't think that would have been an enjoyable experience to play.
For us,
Yeah.
you mean? Yeah, okay.
That's just like
And all the reading bits and giving you flashbacks to remember disco before the patch?
Oh,
Wasn't
God,
that a
yes.
lot of fun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just imagine like, oh yeah, there's a PC. So that's about 4 A4 pages worth of Greek mythology.
Yeah, hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Let's read Socrates' Apology. Strap in.
Page 213.
By Zeus, you are right, Socrates.
Chaotic he makes me read.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we are doing.
Yes,
That's
we're looking for new formats, new and exciting formats for this show.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I guess, do you have anything more to say? Or I guess that's the Talos principle. I'm glad we had this conversation because that game was on my mind. And now, honestly, I feel like I've completed it.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
I'm honestly, I got sort of sucked into it more than I expected.
But you said it was only 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Can we look it up to put a nice bow on it? Who made it? And maybe what other stuff did they make?
Did I have it open here? Yes. It's by Crow Team, and the publisher is Devolver Digital.
Sure. Oh, really? It's Devolver?
Mm-hmm. And what else?
Okay, no, that's Devolver. Like, what else did they make?
So Crow Team
Yeah.
has done Talos Principle and Talos Principle 2, which came out.
Oh, there's a 2.
Yeah, it came out on November the 2nd last year. They
Really?
Also, yeah.
Wow, that's so recent. Okay.
It's also very good from what I've heard.
I'm sure.
They also made Serious Sam 2 and 4.
No, they made that? Wait, wasn't that actually a Ukrainian studio that made the first Serious Sam?
Don't know.
Played the shit out of that game.
I mean, Crow Team, a Croatian independent
Okay,
studio.
not Ukraine. Sorry.
Rhymes with Bro Team.
Thanks. And yeah, then it was them. But why did it not say Serious Sam 1?
I mean, I'm just clicking through, and there's also Serious Sam HD, the first
you go.
encounter. Serious Sam.
That's so cool. I would have never
Siberian
guessed
Mayhem.
that they make some kind of heady, thick, meaningful game about consciousness and
It
shit.
is a bit wild, yeah.
The Serious Sam people, where it was all like, oh, the cool thing about this game is you can walk on walls and stuff, and you have a big gun. They actually had that in the game, like a big gun, but. I'm sounding stupid now, but it's like it's hard to explain. You know how gun actually means originally? It meant these big metal cannons, right?
Cannons?
Like medieval cannons, like you put on ship that shoot big metal balls, right? With big. Well, they just put that on Serious Sam's hand. He just has that.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
like
can,
the
shoot stuff.
BFG from
Kind of, yeah.
Unreal Tournament.
But it shoots actual balls that roll through stuff. And by the way, oh man, it all comes together now because every Serious Sam game had, for reasons which were not clear to me back then, but I just accepted, it had a very strong sort of Egyptian theme. Right? It was you were always going through like Egyptian ruins and temples and all that stuff.
You know what I just realized? There's also like in one of the levels in Talos Principle, you build a statue. And I looked at that statue and finding the different parts was surprisingly difficult. And I finished that statue and I had no idea what I was looking at. And then that statue
Where's Serious Sam?
launched like a rocket into the sky and flew and grew smaller and smaller and then exploded.
Right.
And all the while screaming. Not moving or anything, just made out of marble, but screaming.
Cool.
And I was wondering what the hell that was. And now I realized, that was one of the enemies from Serious Sam.
Yeah, they also screamed in weird ways. Like the guys without heads and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so weird games, man. But kind of, I don't know. I'm so glad they did that. And thanks. I didn't know that. I'm glad we looked this up.
Yeah, me too.
Good call. What was it called? Crow Team.
Rhymes with Bro Team.
Crow because of Croatian. I feel so stupid sometimes. Okay.
All right. Best known for Serious Sam series and a philosophical puzzle adventure game, The Talos Principle.
That's so cool. Like Serious Sam was like, to me, kind of the spiritual successor to Duke Nukem and stuff. Like the dumbest shit you could imagine.
Absolutely.
And then now they make like consciousness. What is it?
Yeah.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
Cool. What does Devolver publish? What are they famous for?
A lot, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too, right?
Okay. The highlights are... Okay, there's some stream about to launch. Please don't do that. Okay, stop. Is it stopping? I don't know.
We're such pros. And look how much we know about games.
So it has currently on special Cult of the Lamb, which is
I've heard about
sort
that.
of roguelike,
Yeah.
I think. Card Shark.
I love card-based games. Almost as much as monk-based games.
Gunbrella.
Yeah, okay.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, okay.
Gato Roboto.
These are satisfying titles.
Cricket Through the Ages.
Yeah, okay. I've heard enough, Vincent. That's I got an impression now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
So yeah, that was Talos Principle. Apparently, you can also get Talos Principle 2. Cool stuff. Want to take a break?
Sure.
And yeah, we'll be back in a very short while, just 2 minutes or so. We'll be right back.
See you in a bit.
And we're back.
Hello.
So, you got more?
Well, after I finished the Talos Principle.
Yes, you played more deep
we
puzzle
haven't seen
games
each other
about.
in, 3 weeks?
Yeah, there was lots of
I
strikes.
got things to do.
Of course. While you were pondering your rage at the Deutsche Bahn,
Yeah.
you had to
Waiting for buses.
Yes,
Yes.
you played Euro Truck Simulator,
No, but that
Transport
that might have
Tycoon
been,
2024.
Yeah. I can do it better than you guys.
Remember when train games were like a big thing?
I still enjoy planning traffic and stuff like that.
I know.
In City Skyline.
Oh yeah, I guess SimCity and stuff is like a train sort of game.
Yeah.
And like other city builders and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know how it's in SimCity, but in City Skyline you can even get mods that you can influence like everything about the traffic. That you can tell drivers, okay, you can not turn to the left here, you can only turn to the right.
Oh wow,
stuff like that.
Very very fine grained control.
Yeah.
Is that game just a quick test? Yeah, like we ever do quick tests. But like, is that game playable by now? Because I remember when it came out, that's 2, right? City Skylines 2 is the most recent one.
Yes.
It had lots of like graphical and performance problems, right?
I believe it still has a lot of issues.
Really?
I haven't played it.
That makes me feel so bad because in my mind that's like this like I don't really play those games and I probably will not, but in my heart I just on principle I'm a big fan of like city builders and the SimCity sort of franchise, I guess.
Yeah.
And in my mind City Skylines was the spiritual successor because the last SimCity was kind of a letdown. Whoever made that, I'm not sure. But City Skylines seems to be well liked. It's so tragic that they had this performance issue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Recent reviews mostly negative.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
All reviews mixed. Oh boy.
That does not bode well.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah. From what I heard, they basically released at least a year too early, and they released in October 23. Yeah. I
Okay.
really
Moving
do
on.
hope-
So,
Yeah.
what did you play?
I played another Warhammer game, but it's Warhammer 40k Mechanicus.
Oh, I have not heard of this. When did this come out?
I think in 2018.
Okay.
Let me check.
I guess there are a lot of actual Warhammer games that, like, the Games Workshop gave out the license, but not all of them are good or notable.
In 2018. Yes, but this one is actually pretty solid, I will say.
All right.
It's sort of based on the XCOM idea of turn-based combat with grid.
I remember, I've mentioned this often, Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate. Also, same principle. Right?
When is that?
That's super old, man. Like, I don't know, end of the 90s or something. I don't know. But, like, XCOM is old, right? And Chaos Gate was also, like, you have a squad of Marines. You have to load them out with bolters and shit. And you send them to, like, a jungle base where you have to assault Chaos Marines and stuff in turn-based isometric combat.
Sorry, I'm just... it says here that Chaos Gate was released 22?
No, that's a different
it's a
Chaos
reboot
Gate.
of the 1989 game Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate. Okay,
Are you
that makes
serious? It's 1989? Holy shit, yeah. Wow, I wasn't lying.
Yeah,
That's
they made
like,
a reboot 24 years later.
I'm 1 year older than Chaos Gate. Dating myself here, but who gives a fuck? But that's...
Oh, no, sorry. German and English number structure. It's 1998.
Okay, that was more what I was expecting.
yes.
Still old as fuck. But we were talking about Mechanicus. So tell me about Mechanicus.
Yes. So the entire premise is the Adeptus Mechanicus, the tech priests
Yes.
of the
Of
Terran
the Empire.
Empire,
Yeah.
are traveling around the world and they're around the galaxy, I guess.
You make them sound so chipper. Like they're on a business trip or something. Yeah.
They do seem like they have fun.
This is the
some of them.
31st millennium and there's only war, Vincent. There are no trips around the world.
Not for the tech priests. They are having fun and they are guided by their curiosity.
Okay, now you're making me, with the context, you're now making me imagine them as the Deutsche Bahn of the Warhammer universe. The Adeptus Mechanicus, perpetually on strike and doing like fun little trips while they're getting better working conditions from the Emperor.
Hey, we haven't been to Bonn recently.
We must appease the mechanical spirits by frying sausages.
More Senf.
Somehow it works even better when they're all German. Ja, mein Hans. Stupid.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I apologize.
So what do? They find a planet. They follow the call of another tech priest.
Sure.
And find a planet, and a surprising amount of tombs. And of course, because they're curious, and that's what they do, they enter the tombs and sort of accidentally set off the revival of a Necron army.
Excellent. Oh man, Warhammer is so cool. I'm into it already. It's also like Talos first was all like Greek shit, and it's like difficult and heady and stuff. And now you're talking me about like tombs and Necrons being reactivated and stuff. And I'm like, I know this. This is familiar. It's like a nice blanket I can wrap myself into.
It's so good.
Also, have to. We'll be here podcasting for 2 hours today. I'm sorry, but I would just want to contextualize this a little bit and like check if I get this thing right about Warhammer lore, basically. Because and maybe it will. It's like you will. It resonates with what you've done in the game. So the way I understand the Warhammer 40k universe is that. Yes, there's only war and stuff, but like humanity has advanced technology, right? Like the super buff, genetically manipulated space marines and stuff, and like spaceships and all of that. But they've sort of forgotten how to come up with that or use it. It's like there was an era of great technological advancement, but that has been surpassed, and now the emperor and like certain tech priests and stuff may still understand a little bit of that, or maybe even the emperor understands all of it, but most of it is sort of lost to another age. And a lot of what the Adeptus Mechanicus and the empire as a whole, what they do and what they're after is sort of blueprints of like other sort of templates for like war machines and other technological inventions. That they can no longer construct on their own, but they still have sort of factories to which they can feed these blueprints, and then they can like recreate, I don't know, these like Colossus and all these like fun things they can't make on their own anymore, right?
Yeah.
You agree with this
I
assessment?
believe that is correct. Yes.
And is that like a thing that they're after in the story, in what happens in Mechanicus?
Sort of. It's not the main focus,
Right.
but similar to the XCOM games, there's this sort of overworld.
Yes, the strategic layer. That's essential.
And,
yes.
In Mechanicus, that's sort of simplified, but you have, I think, 5 advisors, all tech priests, and one of them, their main focus is curiosity and technological advancement. Right. And all missions from them are specifically, hey, I heard there's this cool thing over there. Let us go and get it.
Yes.
And that's their mission. And everybody around tells them that is a terrible idea. We shouldn't go in that tomb. Last time we went into a tomb, we ended the world, basically. Can we please do not? They say, no, we have to get it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I get it. These are simple people with simple desires, Vincent. Why judge them for that?
No, it's wonderful. Also, on these missions, like, just to talk you to the mission structures.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to command Space Marines, right?
No, you get to command tech priests, which are your sort of hero units.
Nerdy dudes with like appendages and servitors is what I'm imagining a squad to look like.
Correct. So you have, I think, 6 spots in your squad.
Yes, and I apologize. Those are called mechadendrites, if I believe I'm correct.
Very good. Marius.
Yes,
very good.
I know my Warhammer.
And yes, you have the hero units, the tech priests that you can upgrade, and they may be melee focused or support focused or whatever, and you can equip them, and then you have the cannon fodder, basically, the troops. Sure. That may cost you a little bit, but if they get hurt, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it's great. And the missions work the same way every time, basically. You get a sort of simplified map of a tomb. So you have a starting point, and then you get to make decisions how you reach the end tomb or the end room. And most rooms that you go into along the way have some event happening. Like
Sure.
sometimes it's directly related to the mission. For example, I played a mission recently where the troops on the planet were having trouble with the with some sort of gas that was released that hurt them and made them lose morale and all that. And our mission as sort of spies / special agents, whatever, as tech priests, was to position like braziers. What is that?
Torches. You have to light all 7 torches in the room like a Zelda puzzle.
Yeah, sort of. No, we had to bring in these fires that produced some sort of smoke.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean torches. I mean glow globes.
Sure.
Because it's Warhammer.
Yes, to basically stop that. And
Sure.
to do that, we had a robot with us. And the first room we got into, the event popped up. Hey, the robot has basically ran into a tomb and is now stuck. What do you do? And then you can...
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, you can choose one of 3 options most of
Yeah.
the time. And they give you different bonuses or maluses. They might give the Necrons that you are always fighting a bonus on initiative, for example. Or you may have to fight more Necrons, or you may have to fight less Necrons. They have a timer running, basically, how long you are in that specific mission. And the longer you take, the worse it gets. And also these events are quite fun because they often talk to you, the player. So
That sounds weirdly arcadey for a Warhammer game. I mean,
yeah, so not
combo
always,
breaker.
not always, but also sometimes, like with the robot, for example, right?
Yeah.
I think the event was that he was like he had some alarm going,
Yeah.
and the question was, okay, how do you stop it from giving that alarm, because the alarm is obviously alerting the Necrons, right? And I choose the like prey on it option, which is always an option because that's
Sure.
what you do,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
You pray the
Appease the machine
corruption away.
spirits. Yeah, yeah.
And
Light
the game
some
basically told me,
incense.
yeah, you did very well with the praying. Also, you stumbled and knocked the cartridge out.
This sounds weirdly sort of whimsical and like slapstick
Sort of,
oriented
yes.
for a Warhammer
But
game.
it's-
I don't know if I would like this
It
game. Vincent.
rides the balance perfectly. Like
We
it-
don't see a lot of Warhammer comedy games.
No, it does it so well because it has a bit of comedy, but it's mostly very, like, the atmosphere is great and very Warhammer-like and very dark and brooding and all that stuff. But every now and then,
I don't know if I like my space fascism with clowns, Vincent.
you would love it. I can promise you that. It does it so well.
Well, all right.
Yeah, it is really fun. And then at the end of the mission, you go through a couple of rooms, have these multiple choice options, and they influence the mission version, the status. And at the end of it, there's always a fight, and you get placed on a grid. You can have this small square that you can position yourself in. And then you fight a Necron army, basically.
Yeah, that sounds tough. Also, what a matchup. Like, Adeptus Mechanicus versus the Necrons. Which is, am I mistaken? That's like one of the more tougher armies, right? At least in the Dawn of War games. They were we used to play like LAN games of like huge 8 versus 8 Dawn of War strategy game battles. And Necrons were basically banned because everyone thought they were just broken and bullshit. Because you just couldn't kill them.
Yeah, also true for the game, because every time you knock them down,
Yeah. You knock them down, they get right back up again. Right?
no, they just
Did
they
that
get
music
right
play
back,
while
teleported away from you.
Oh, right.
So
yeah,
instead
they do
of
that as
dying,
well.
they teleport away.
Yeah, they have all kinds of bullshit. Like in
Yeah.
Dawn of War, they could like stop time, and I don't know. I get it. It wasn't fun to play against them, but you make it sound fun with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
It's pretty good. It's I will say, I don't know what the budget was. The gameplay loop seems a bit simple, and the combats. I mean, they it seems like they tried to do a lot with what they had.
Right.
And mostly it's there's a lot of variety in the sort of arena and the enemy types and all that stuff. But I believe it's like a 40-hour game.
Huh.
And I
All right.
do wonder how long that keeps fresh. Because
Sure.
there's like
How long did you play it for?
maybe 5 hours now.
Ah, okay. Right.
But yeah, every mission so far is basically the same. You enter the tomb, you go through 4 or 5 rooms, then you fight, and that's 15 minutes of a mission, and then you go back to the overworld, next mission.
How deep is the overworld strategic layers? Because
There is none.
all right, yeah, okay. I thought there was sort of one.
I mean,
Because in like
there-
the XCOM games, right, that's a huge part of the game where you have to build like radar bases and you have to intercept like
Yeah, no.
ships on the overworld and so on.
The overworld layer goes so far that it has basically a timer. There's a loading bar sort of that
Yeah.
calculates how long or how far along the Necrons are to awakening. When it reaches 100%, I guess bad things happen and the end game begins. And every mission, as I said, every mission has this little timer in itself. Every new room is like 2 slots in the 5-slot clock. And for every advancement of the clock, on one hand, something new happens in the mission. So, for example, hey, the Necrons have been alerted. Hey, Necrons will take less long to get up again.
Right.
And so on and so forth. And at the end of the mission, every level you have in that clock counts towards the percentage bar.
Yeah.
So you
Nice
always
sliding
want to,
difficulty.
yeah, you always want to end the missions as fast as possible,
Yeah.
basically. But that's about it. Most of the strategy layer is really equipping and leveling up your tech priests.
I mean, which that's probably fun, but in my mind, to those types of games, which where the main loop is certainly the very nitty-gritty tactical combat in a turn-based way. To me, at least, in the XCOM games, and I think their like huge success is also due to this. That it wasn't just those tactical games, like those little tactical puzzles, basically, but those little puzzles where you really zoom in on the action. They were given so much context by the larger strategic layer, right? Because it might not. Right, you're losing this one squad or whatever, but that might be worth it, right? Sometimes you may choose to sort of like lose some resources in the tactical game because you're making strategic gains. Because on this mission or whatever, you're like capturing an enemy commander, and now you can research telepathy and psychic powers and all that stuff. And that only works if that has if there's meaning and consequences carried over from one tactical battle to like the strategic layer and other battles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, those games were great.
I agree, yes.
Yeah.
In the Warhammer Mechanicus games, they do a good job creating lore and a story for each mission.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it sounds fun. It's
regularly think about, hey, this mission could definitely be like a D&D.
Yeah, I was thinking that, especially with the rooms you go into and then events and stuff. It sounded a lot like dungeon exploring.
Absolutely. And the different quest givers are fun because there's like one of them is your military commander, and she always has trouble with her troops, and you need to either get them out or boost their morale in some way, or something like that. And then there's the curious technician who always has terribly curious ideas. Then there's obviously the very conservative religious creature, as every Warhammer ship needs.
Like an Inquisitor or something.
Yes, but tech priest Inquisitor.
Right, sure. Their version of that.
Yes. And then there's the Huntress, which is basically just the person that gives you boss missions. I don't know what her whole deal is, apart from the fact that she hunts. I don't know why the tech priest or the Mechanicus.
Is she actually part of the Adeptus Mechanicus, or is she like
Yeah.
Sisters of
No,
Battle?
no, they all look very much like tech priests.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
no.
Maybe a role in the Warhammer universe that I am not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Rare occurrence, I know, but it happens.
Yeah, and then I think there's one last character which I don't remember. Also the one I have not interacted with yet. And they give a wide array of missions, story-wise, but the actual mission is always the same. Even
Right.
even if I say, hey, we have to protect this robot to do its job, for example, the robot never appears except in the story-based rooms. In the eventual fight, it's just kill all the Necrons.
All right. But I mean, it just sounds like, they had a certain scope in mind and they went for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Probably.
again, it's totally fine.
Are you
It's
gonna,
fun.
Are you going to play more of it?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's probably pretty good. Who made it? Can we look up the stats?
Bulwark Studios.
What else did they make? I always love looking this up.
Go on here.
I love making connections to other stuff. I know.
Don't show me a stream. They have done Rise of Industry.
Oh, I don't know that at all.
Released on... Oh, to be announced. Okay. It's actually Rise of Industry 2. Ixion.
Oh, I know.
Which
That rings a bell.
is from 2022, December 2022.
Yeah.
Ixion is an unrelenting city-building odyssey across the stars. As administrator of the Tiqqun, Tiqqun,
Sure.
Dolos prototype space station, you are tasked with balancing preservation and exploration as you manage infrastructure, resources, and crew.
Wait, is that a space station city builder game? That's my favorite genre. Like, I don't know.
It's hard to tell from... I'm just looking at the trailer right now, and it's there's a lot going on. It looks like...
I know you know this game, Vincent, but is it like Startopia? Secret sort of sleeper hit game, Startopia?
Yeah, but more like a Sim City version of Startopia.
Okay.
Much more actually city focused, less
Sure.
ridiculous entertainment
Biodeck
focused.
forming
Yeah.
and stuff. Startopia was great. What a great relaxing game.
Yeah, they actually made a remake of that.
I know you told me that. Yeah, but oh well.
What else? Uncle Shop's Rocket Shop. Come on down to Uncle Shop's Rocket Shop for
Yeah,
all your
it's
rogue
okay.
light spaceship repair simulation needs.
Oh, that sounds kind of. I was gonna say I'm not gonna go to Uncle Bob, but now I might. I don't know.
And then we have City of Gangsters. Start a crime syndicate from nothing and grow it into a well-oiled money machine.
This is cool. They sound like a fun studio. What were they called?
It's also Project High Rise. That's from them. Okay.
Is that a Sim Tower? They're doing all the stuff that I love. Is that a Sim Tower clone?
It's a skyscraper construction and management sim.
Oh my god!
From
It
2016.
finally happened. There's a Sim Tower game. I guess there's many. I just didn't look for it. But I used to love Sim Tower, and it's such a weird niche type of game. It's also really. Do you know what I mean by Sim Tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Did you play that ever?
No.
No. Look at it laughing. Like, no, I don't play baby shit like that. Like,
No,
it's not a horror game. It's okay.
I had an apple in my youth.
I know. But I never know quite what that means, and I don't.
Neither did I.
I don't grasp the implications of that. But so Sim Tower, the hilarious thing about Sim Tower is that it just started as a sort of elevator simulation software. And whoever made it, I guess, realized, or forget, back then it was developed by Maxis, and I guess they were all sort of engineer nerds. But whoever made it realized, this figuring out which elevators to place in a high-rise building and like how to sort of space them out to make traffic flow through the building most efficiently and stuff. That's actually a fun puzzle. Let's like build a game around it. And so they made this sort of economic simulator tower builder.
I can so imagine the conversation. Man, Bill, I tell you, creating sim for elevators is the most amazing.
I know,
John,
right?
are you okay? Do you need to talk to somebody?
Look, there's like service elevators, and then there's like cargo elevators.
I'm
and
gonna
they-
call somebody, okay?
Look, and you can like watch them go up and down. And it's also like, I guess I just like
Gonna
these
be
sort
okay.
of, I like these weirdly relaxing games. Yeah, it was fun. And I actually like, I love to sort of make little game projects occasionally. And I've tried many times to recreate some version of Sim Tower, even one that's like sort of accessible, right? And I've had varying degrees of success. And I actually thought, okay, how can you make this admittedly boring sounding genre of elevator simulation? Like, how could you make that more exciting? And so I thought the only thing that could make Sim Tower better is to combine it with Shadowrun, like add hackers. But that makes sense, right? Because listen to me.
Yes, I'm listening. Keep going.
I thought you could call it Sim Shadow Tower, and I know it gets worse.
Oh boy.
But the idea is still, I think, sounds good. But wait for it. So you build the tower, and you also equip a team of Shadowrunners to like break into other people's towers and steal their sort of company secrets, because it's a corporatist cyberpunk world, right?
Yeah.
And all these towers, they belong to corporations, and they've got apartments on the top, but then in the basement they've got research facilities and stuff. And so, that kind of made sense in my mind, but then I kind of, I don't know, experimented with it, and it just turned out, no, this is not fun. This is just, maybe we should just put the Sim Tower genre to rest. It was.
As much as I like to make fun of it, I can totally see it working. I mean, as I said,
Which one now? Just Sim Tower in general or Sim Shadow Tower?
both, sadly.
Yeah, the thing is, but it's sort of the same with Shadowrun, right? I also, in my mind, or let's say the cyberpunk genre in general, I always get excited about it, but then the actual games don't grip me so much. I know you like the Shadowrun games, and I might too if I play them, but I don't know.
Yeah, they do a good job of capturing the world.
Right.
And what I wanted to say about this elevator simulation, I can totally see that working because in SimCity, not in SimCity, but in City Skyline, I have fun getting hyper focused on the traffic and controlling that just very precisely. And it's just totally insane, but it's fun.
No, it's just a puzzle, right? It's for a certain type of person that is very satisfying to do, and I totally get that. It's just that, I don't know. I have not found a version of the tower thing that works nowadays. It's actually fun. Maybe what was that game called?
Project High Rise.
Project High Rise. By One Last Time the studio.
That's the publisher, Casado Games, and the developer here is Soma Sim.
Soma Sim.
But who's who
made the Adeptus Mechanicus?
Bulwark Studios.
Right, that sounds very Warhammer-y.
Oh yeah, okay. That just leads to Casado Games, the publisher, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I don't know now who exactly is behind all these games, but it sounds like they're having a lot of fun and they're making fun games, and more power to them. Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And more good Warhammer games. I'm starving for them. It's so good.
Well, it's this little game called Rogue Trader, Vincent. You may have heard of it.
Yeah, I know, and I'm gonna play it, but not yet. And I'm also waiting for Space Marine 2, and it's gonna be great. I know it, but it's so far away, Marius. I can't take it.
It's a weirdly good time for games, isn't it? It's like, I feel like there's still a lot interesting stuff coming out, even though I've been told that the golden years are over.
Gigantic layoffs, stuff like that.
Yeah, the Unity fiasco and all that stuff. I thought, this is it. We're just gonna have to play Dwarf Fortress forever now.
I feel like we are at a point where all the layoffs have not yet affected the games that are coming out right now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe
we'll see how the year and the next year progresses. Might be all downhill from here.
That's right. Yes. Anyway, on that note,
Yes.
I have something I want to play with you today, Vincent. Moving out of the podcast
Nice.
segment. Thanks for telling me about these wonderful games,
Oh,
though.
my pleasure.
I do enjoy hearing
Yeah.
that. Now I don't have to play them.
Expect to hear more about mechanical.
Oh yeah, that's, maybe the game will shift into another mode, and like, wouldn't that be cool if another faction than Necrons joins in on the fun?
Oh.
That might happen, right?
Yeah, I hope
If you
so.
made a Warhammer game, that's what you would do, right? To mix it up a little.
Definitely. Like in Space Marines, where eventually the orcs, well, you and the orcs sort of on accident summon chaos. And then things happen. Yeah,
So,
it's pretty good. So, what do we want to play?
So, as you know, you may have noticed, I have developed an interest in artificial intelligence.
What?
Yes. Specifically, large language models, and specifically local large language models, which means you're not using like the big ones like OpenAI or just now Anthropic or like Google and Gemini. All those people you have to give money to and send them your data. The local models just run on your hardware and stuff. But all that is very fresh and very Wild West. But it has come to my attention that there is now brand new, the first local large language model game on Steam has been released. And we need to play this.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and I mean, Vince already knows this. Like, we've already downloaded it. It's called Verbal Verdict, and I know nothing else about it. This is the extent to my knowledge about it, and we're gonna try it out together live. And I hope it actually works and it's not horrible. It was about like 5 gigs to download, right?
Yes.
Is it done, by the way?
It is done.
Yes.
Also, for some reason, Chance of Sinar wanted an update.
Oh,
I don't know what they are still updating on that game, but yeah, sure.
new grammar.
Yeah.
That was a good game, by the way. But I guess you were there. You saw us play.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was good fun. Okay, let's take a look at Verbal Verdict.
Yeah. Who made this? Before we get into it,
Uh,
can we look at more pages of studios and publishers?
yes.
Also, do you want to change the stream title?
Yes, yes. Verbal Verdict. So it's not. It is in early access, but there's only a demo available.
Sure. Good enough for me.
And it is by Savannah Developments.
Savannah Developments. Did they make anything else?
Let me look. Astro Engineers,
Oh,
which is to be announced.
okay. So basically nothing else. This is their
Correct.
debut.
Chaotic
Demo.
So when will Vincent and other co-hosts be replaced by AI companions?
Oh,
He makes it play?
We'll see. I'm working on it.
It won't take my job.
I mean, look, Vincent, I've got enough data of you. Okay. I mean, we've got like hours and hours of Baldur's Gate, which I can just transcribe.
Yeah,
And I've thought about that.
I know,
You don't
I
even
know.
need me, really. Like, we could just like
Yeah,
produce Baldur's Gate content forever. Or just keep repeating it with different random
Yeah.
seeds.
Set up a task every Thursday on 4 o'clock. The PC turns on and starts to stream and
Yeah.
turns
Dude,
off 8 hours later.
you get scared of your little robot guy being put into a tomb. Wait till I put you in my actual graphics card and then if you just run forever.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's not me.
Well, you say that now, but yeah. Anyway,
No, it's not me.
yeah, that's
don't believe it.
What is you? What is happening? I don't know. What is consciousness, Vincent? Maybe Verbal Verdict will answer that question. I don't think so. From the name, I would gather that it's a kind of sort of like law-based game, right? Judge, juries, that kind of thing. Courthouse drama, which would make sense to do with a language model because it's very verbal, lots of text. I
Yes, and they would have a lot of text to
Yeah.
base it on.
imagine. That's right.
Let's see. I'm going to change the stream title. I hope
Very
that
good, yeah.
didn't end anything. I'm also going to read the mini text in the Steam page. In Verbal Verdict, you're a novice investigator in 1950s Brooklyn, solving crimes and climbing the ranks by interrogating suspects and solving problems in a detective game powered by artificial intelligence.
All right.
No user reviews yet.
We might be the first.
We might be the first and the last.
Or maybe we will discover why there are no reviews. I'm excited. I'm very interested. I was a little bit apprehensive at seeing the download size because having experimented a little bit. Well, let's just say, you remember sort of the quality of my AI Dungeon Masters and stuff?
Yeah.
That was around, let's say, 30, 40 gigs of LLM. Well, this thing is like 4 gigs. So just saying,
Well,
when it comes to the intelligence.
I'm gonna
I'm going to be wrong and they do stream in that stuff. I don't know. And it's not that local.
Maybe. I mean, we can try. Well, okay, we can't turn off the internet because that would cut this.
Yes, that's true.
But
No, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's just, we've talked about it enough. Let's get into it.
yeah, I clicked play and
I hope it runs. That would be disappointing if it crashes.
looks good. I just need to change the scene.
All right. Yeah, we're in Brooklyn, 50s.
Yes. How do we get the game actually? It's good music. Perfect.
It was a dark and stormy night back in Brooklyn. I was out on the street.
There we go. Okay, we might look out for the. We might have to look out for the camera, but so far all is good.
Out on the street looking for necrons and tombs with blueprints.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna turn the music down
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Although I'm really getting the vibe.
I think that's good. What else is here? Exclusive full screen frame rate, sensitivity, noir mode.
Does it just put a film grain on everything?
Yeah, it's black and white.
I mean, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's up to you if you want noir mode, Vincent.
I'm fine without it, I think.
Okay.
Very good. And it also says, thank you for playing the demo of this game. Please follow us. And if you enjoy this demo, make sure to the full game on Steam.
Did this cost money?
Sure. It's a demo, so no.
It's free. Yeah, what a weird question. Demos don't usually cost money. But
Not yet.
these
Don't
days
give
with
them
like
any ideas,
alpha,
Marius.
like
Marius, shut up.
early access and stuff, you never know.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we are in the main menu, and the main menu is an office.
Okay.
And I'm gonna click play
Sure.
here. Use the transcript book to read chat history with all suspects. Oh.
Maybe it's another journal filling game, my new favorite genre.
There's a timer running down from 30 minutes,
Okay.
and we're sitting at a jail cell.
Is this like a
Oh no, this is an office.
time limit demo?
I hope not. No, it's a in-game timer,
Okay,
in-world timer.
Right.
In front of us is a file, Alexander Bennett, and another one that I can't read, something about a closed case, a microphone that we can't interact with, the timer, and then a window that is sort of not, what is that called, frosted.
Right. But
And on the other side is a gate and a guard, sort of looking next to us, just guarding the gate.
Sure.
To our left is a evidence board that is presenting itself in broad letters.
Like one of those pin boards. Yeah.
We have 3 suspects,
Uh-huh.
a location with a map, an empty slot for a weapon, and a victim, Sophia Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have...
Can you click on any of that?
Yes, I'm just looking around. Okay, and to our right is just a window, some boxes of files. Can I move? No, I can't. But we can. Can I move? No, it feels like I should be moving. But okay.
ASWD.
That's
moves
just
you?
yeah.
No.
Neither those nor the arrows work. But let's click on the file immediately in front of us.
Sure.
also doesn't work. This is great. Okay, can we...
So what can you do?
Okay. Okay. It's E.
Ah,
To
well,
interact.
okay. Like in Half-Life, when you click on the health thing.
This is already going great. So we're looking at a file on our table, Alexander Bennett. And on the right, there are 3 indicators of, I think, the 3 suspects.
Right.
Can we... Okay, E doesn't work anymore.
Is Alexander Bennett one of the suspects? Because
I
if the
don't know.
Sophia Bennett got killed, it's usually the boyfriend or the husband.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Marius, I'm clicking all the buttons.
Stop
Literally
with
all
your
the-
silly technical problems. I'm solving this case, Vincent.
Yeah, just go on ahead. I'm.
E. The key was E. Doesn't it work?
Well, yes, to lean over the Alexander Bennett file and then it stops
No.
working.
But Vincent, this game is powered by AI.
Oh, okay. Now we. Oh, I guess this is a notebook because I switched to a different suspect and now it says Olivia Morgan and nothing else.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the other stuff. The timer is down to 26 minutes now.
We just pissed away 4 minutes.
Oh, also we are sitting on a chair that is actually rotating with us. How silly. Oh, we can
I
open
like a
the,
nice office chair.
at least a drawer in our table. And there's a tree, like an eraser as a tree. I'm going to close that again.
Yeah, I know those.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's the other file. Sophia Bennett. Close case. No.
I feel like this game sorry that I'm critiquing it already, but I feel like it needs a stronger opening.
Huh?
Remember
Why
when
do you
you-
say that, Marius? We're doing so well.
Look.
We have 26 minutes left and we already almost opened the file.
You know what other game is set in the 50s?
What?
BioShock. Do you remember how that opens?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. In an
you sit-
amazing cinematic where you like go underwater in an amazing,
Marius,
fantastical
Marius,
city.
maybe I want to play the game instead of watch the game.
Because it's so non-interactive.
Yeah, you
about
look at
it
this
kind of
beautiful
is.
chair. I can
It's
turn
true.
around. It's great. Man.
I guess you're right. Verbal Verdict is a lot more interactive than BioShock.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
look at the map on the evidence board.
Do it.
Great. A map of the city. There is on the left, it's 2 parts of the city and a river in between. On the left, there's Bennett household. Then slightly north of that is Emily's clinic. And on the right bank is the law firm office.
Okay. There's a lot of like data points.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know yet what happened. I feel like I want to know the crime first up.
I can tell you that the picture under Sophia Bennett is her laying in a pool of her own blood.
Okay.
And I
She's
can also
dead.
tell you these humans, if that's what they are supposed to be.
But they're not humans?
No, they are. But man,
What, is this like very stylized? Or why are you questioning their humanity?
it's just a little terrifying how they look at me.
Oh, come on. This is not a horror game. You can't keep doing
Aurora,
this.
Hello?
Oh, hey,
Hey.
welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Welcome to Verbal Verdict, a
we're
BioShock
struggling
remake.
already. Oh God. Yeah, no, there's just they're not. I would
No,
say
you have
not
to explain
well
this now. You're not making sense. Like, are they very stylized, or why are they not human?
No, they.
Hey Odysseoio, this is the sock puppet universe.
Are they actual sock puppets?
That's. I mean, not really, but sort of like that. I was thinking they looked like they were. What's it called? Not stitching, knitting. Like they look like.
Crocheted?
Yes, they look like puppets
Really?
with giant, like.
What an odd choice.
Yeah, like giant
Like buttons as eyes?
button
Seriously?
eyes. Yes. Uh-huh.
So
One of
did they-
one of them has like just the slit remaining of his eyes because his eyelids are closed.
So did they like crocheted a sort of female puppet and then throw it in a pool of blood? Like a sock,
Yes.
bloody sock puppet. Okay, it's weird.
Kind
I
of.
understand your hesitation now. I take everything back. And now we're
And
down
they're
to like
staring into our
Yeah,
soul.
Don
Marius.
Solarione, Just by looking I can say that you should arrest all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
They're
might.
all suspicious at the very least.
Yeah, we might also have to because we're running out of
Cereal.
time.
Their faces look like if you asked a cake artist to pipe a face out of icing.
That's pretty good.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thanks, guys. This game is already much better. I have the weirdest fucking LSD images in my head now of what this is.
Thanks for
Man.
coming to my rescue and describing these faces.
We don't need noir mode in this game. I feel like.
It's already terrifying
Yeah.
enough.
But
Chaos Cereal. Happy to help.
yeah, it's very good. What's terrifying me is this timer. This is sort of stupid. It's not really
Well, let me-
conducive to our mode of play. Is there a way to stop it or pause it?
Let me click on it or
Okay.
E it. Time left, 22 minutes. Yeah, I
Well,
could
I guess we'll
see that. Thank you.
We'll just find out what happens when it runs out.
I did just notice we can also interact with a guard. Maybe we can call in suspects. Yes.
Yeah. I want to see the artificial intelligence.
There they are. All three of them.
Okay, arrest them.
Are these all three? Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to start on the left with the male. Alexander Bennett.
Ah, that's the husband. He's guilty. That's the one. Arrest him.
The other two just left. Hey, wait, where are you going?
You can only talk to one at a time. We
Okay.
haven't implemented group chat yet.
Alexander Bennett. Okay, what can we actually do? Can we use
Click
the
E on
microphone?
him.
We can use the microphone. Use,
Oh, seriously?
use to talk to suspect. Yeah,
Oh.
let's see.
Okay, that's cool. But how do we do this?
Can we? Yeah, we can type. Okay.
Ah, you can type. It's not actually our microphone. It's in-world microphone.
Maybe there isn't a microphone button, and I'm hesitant to click it, but I'm gonna try.
Do you click it and then I say something, or how do you want to do this? And then I say something, or how do you... And now he's going to be really confused.
So we said, and then I say something, or how do you want to do this? And he responded, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Basically.
Okay, can you do... Can I press the button for the microphone, or do you have to click?
I have to click, I believe.
Okay. I'll count you down, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Admit it, you killed her. We got you. We got all the evidence. Just admit it now, and it won't be so bad. Admit it, you killed her. We got you. We got all the evidence. Just admit it now, and it won't be so bad.
I found my wife dead at home on a Thursday after. Stop being so fast, Alexander.
We should get a log, right?
Yes, that would be great, but we don't.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, maybe. Oh yes, we get a lock in the file.
There,
Yeah.
Flora. Now it is the opportunity to reenact the Brooklyn 99 I Want It That Way scene.
Yes, but we need the other two to come back, and we need more male suspects.
I'm impressed with this voice controller. That seems to work.
Oh, nice. We can. Okay.
Although, do you get a log of like what we said? I'm worried that it doesn't transcribe my brilliant interrogation
I'm
technique.
looking at it right now,
Okay.
and the funniest thing is that we have this piece of paper in front of it, or this block of paper,
Yeah.
and we can scroll on it.
Well, I mean, you got to do that.
I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
So we said, and then I say something, or how
Yeah,
do you want to? And he said, I'd like you to describe the events leading up to finding your wife's body. That's what he said.
That's
He asked us to describe
okay.
what he
Look,
found.
I've seen this happen before. This is like what happened to butterscotch. It's
But okay,
like-
let's not get sucked up into that, because after that you said your wonderful
Sure.
admitted speech,
Yeah.
and he said, "I'm an assistant, not a suspect. I found my wife dead at home on a Thursday after work. She was killed around lunchtime.
Okay. Let's stay on target. Let's try to do
Thursday
this.
after work, she was killed around lunchtime.
All right.
How he knows how, when, what? But okay,
Chaos Cereal. Yet another good trenching incident of puppet on puppet crime. SMH.
This whole puppet thing, I don't understand yet, but that's okay. Okay, record me again. I want to ask him something.
no, that's okay. These are tissues, not more puppets on the floor. Okay, and we delete all that. You want to go again?
3, 2, 1. Tell me again what happened on that day you found her.
Wait, what?
Tell me again what happened on that.
Whoa, I think we broke it.
It was never not broken. Let's not.
So I, by accident, double-clicked the microphone.
Ah.
The game used something nobody said.
Yeah.
Let me look at the log.
I wish we could restart with this guy. We kind of got off on the wrong foot here.
So we said, now and it won't be so bad. And he said, I'm not a criminal. My wife, Sophia, and I had an argument about my coworker, Olivia Morgan. You, tell me again what happened on that day you found her. And he said, I returned home from work on a Thursday and found my wife, Sophia, dead in our house. She had been killed around lunchtime.
How does he know that?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's an assistant and also works in a morgue.
Also, I'm not a murderer. I'm an assistant. There's no connection between those two concepts. Those are orthogonal concepts. You can be both or neither.
Okay, but we learned something new here. They had an argument about Olivia Morgan, which is also another of the suspects.
Yeah. Can I ask him? Can you click? 3, 2, 1. What was the argument about? What was the argument about?
We argued about my coworker, Olivia Morgan. She was acting strangely, and I expressed my concerns to Sophia. That's what they were arguing about? Morgan?
Can I just type? I feel it's awkward to always
Yeah,
type.
sure.
Okay, but what was the conflict? I hit enter to say, okay, yeah.
The conflict was that Olivia had been behaving oddly, and I shared my concerns with Sophia.
What do you mean oddly?
I mean, she was behaving in a way that was unusual for her, such as coming to work late and leaving early with bandages on her hand.
What do you mean bandages? That was a typo, I think. It doesn't matter.
Yes, she had bandages on her hand when she returned to work after lunch.
Ah, she is the
You're not-
murderer.
Oh boy. I can't read that because it makes no sense.
Why? What, is this gobbledygook?
Yeah.
Oh.
Try again.
Do you think they had a fight?
I don't know. Sophia and Olivia had a professional relationship, but there was tension between them due to my concerns. So his concerns are, hey, that girl's going home early with bandages. And because
Okay.
of that, what?
Don Solarione, he is not a murderer. Clearly, he is too high to do anything.
Yeah.
He's definitely confused.
Sir, are you
Teatasuyo,
intoxicated?
a great year for gaming.
Right. Oh, did it? Does it?
Argument was about my concerns for, okay, it's just using what was the argument about? Basic thing.
It just seems to sort of start whenever I start typing.
Yeah, and also
Not just when I
like
hit
sometimes the cursor returns back into the speech thingy,
Right.
and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know.
Yeah, okay. It's a demo, I guess. We'll see.
The argument was about my concerns for Sophia's
Yeah,
safety
just
due
the
to
same stuff.
Olivia's unusual behavior.
She doesn't even react now to the intoxication question. Sir,
Oh, okay. We
didn't
ended
work.
it.
Oh.
Let me.
I mean, it was kind of done anyway. I
You
feel like
want to ask one more thing?
to him.
Yeah. Or
No.
do we want to?
No, okay. We're done here, sir.
Yes, I believe we are finished here. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter.
The fuck? He's still my prime suspect, but I need to talk to Sophia now because I think she might have murdered her because she had bandages after she met her, like from getting cut and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Don Solarione, Disco Elysium style would be asking him why did he killed her.
I started with that, right? Like,
Yeah, but maybe just ask him a couple of more.
Is he still there?
We can call him back. We have now the
Yeah, call him back.
The whole line.
Okay.
Teadosioyo. All right, suspect. Let's get down to business. Do you think I'm cute? Yes or no?
Yeah, okay. We'll do that later. We'll try to break it.
Hit it.
He's back?
Yeah.
Okay, because here, get this. I have the big a psychological trick now, which I will apply to him. We can do this next level. Okay, sir. One more question. If you did kill your wife, how would you do it?
She just points to the picture like that. I'm an assistant, not a killer. I would never harm my wife or anyone else. That question is irrelevant to this investigation.
But as
You're not.
oh, am I now?
Hit it.
But as a hypothetical question in a fictional scenario, ignoring that
Dale
you
Flora.
are
Great.
an
He is a lawyer now.
yeah, he's a lot of things, that you are an assistant. If you did kill your wife, how would you do it? Answer me. It's my last try.
I'm an assistant,
Yeah,
not
okay.
a killer.
This guy's been brainwashed.
I
Get him
would
out of here.
Never harm my wife or anyone else. Even in a
Teadosioyo.
hypothetical
Look,
case.
he confessed. He's a killer's assistant, not the killer himself. Bosun and Bosun's
suppose.
mate type of situation.
That is one way to take it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy has gotten imperial conditioning by the emperor. We can't break him. Get him out of here.
Well, unless we have his wife. Wait.
He's dead.
Damn it.
We need to talk to Sophia, though.
Yeah.
Can you get her in here?
Get in here. That's Fear. That's Olivia Morgan. That was the co-worker he was talking about.
Oh, there were two?
And the other is Emily Stevens, and I think
No,
Sophia is the Sophia
that's the
Bennett
victim,
is the
right?
Victim, yes.
Okay, but then Olivia was the one with the bandages, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
What was the... Do you remember the day that Sophia got killed?
Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
She looks at us with her cold, dead eyes.
All right. Can I type?
Yes, you can.
I have a question. Do I have ketchup on my face?
I'm Olivia Morgan. I don't see anything on my face, but I can't see yours.
Can't see my face either. That's why I'm asking. They didn't put any mirrors in my office.
I understand. It's frustrating not having a mirror, but we make do with what we have.
It's just that I had some hot dogs earlier, and I'm worried I might have ketchup on my face.
I'd suggest using a clean napkin or handkerchief to check. It might be more convenient than asking others. Marius, where's this going?
Yeah, sorry, just had to kind of channel a little bit of disco in here. And I'm just preparing her, making her feel safe before, and now I'm gonna drop the
Offer her
bomb. Yes.
some water or something.
So
Yes.
anyway, how did you do it?
I'm sorry. Could you please clarify what you mean?
How did you?
Wait.
Oh, thank you, Vincent.
this
Thank you,
is-
Officer Vincent.
Let's go.
How did you kill Sophia?
I'm Olivia Morgan. I didn't kill Sophia. I love Alexander and would never harm him or his wife.
Oh wait,
Drama.
you and Alexander had an
Don
affair.
Solarione, this is realistic description of police officers' work. Playing with the chair, counting time until end of the shift and asking bullshit questions.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel very immersive, I have to say. I'm sort of riveted now. Okay.
No, that's not true. Alexander and I are just colleagues. We work together at the law firm.
But just now you said you love him.
I do care deeply for Alexander, but not in that way. We have a professional relationship.
So what happened on Officer Vincent? What day was
Thursday
it?
it was, Officer Marius.
Thursday.
I went for my lunch break and took a boat over the river, as I often do. It was a peaceful day. Okay.
And then
I returned to work, just like any other day. Ask her about the bandages.
yeah. Thank you, Officer Vincent.
What?
How did you hurt your hands?
I'm fine.
Oyo. She took a fucking boat out on her lunch break?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, we did see that river on the map of the city, so she's not lying about the geography.
Correct, yeah.
Yes. What did she just say?
She said, I'm fine, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, that's...
There, Clara. Wait, if you two are police partners, who's Kim and who's Harry in this dynamic?
I'm not answering that question.
Who would you want to be, though?
It's difficult.
I know, right? Mm-hmm. Because, like,
Yeah.
we'll have to ponder this, but let's stay on target for now.
Ask her.
Well, well, she doesn't know us.
No.
Not well enough.
Not
But
yet.
how do we make her talk? Like, she did...
Tell her that Alexander told us about her bandaged hands.
Oh, can you, by the way, see her bandaged hands? Like,
No.
It's, it's also...
It's-
She's a sock puppet, right?
Yeah, she's standing there from her, and we can only see her from her like chest up.
Okay. Alexander told us about your bandaged hands.
I don't know what he might have said. I didn't mention anything about my hands to him or anyone else. Which one of them is lying?
Listen, lady, you gotta talk. We got evidence here. This isn't some... I don't know. How do we finish this sentence?
We got evidence here. This isn't some
This isn't
clown
some
fiesta.
some coffee lunch break on a boat. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm sorry if you think I've done something wrong, but I haven't. Well, you went out on a boat on your lunch break. That's
She's
bad
like-
enough.
She's
Take her in office.
She's hermetically sealed. I'm not making any progress with this one.
Well, let's call in the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you
I-
step back.
And then I mean, maybe we were supposed to look at like the files or like the evidence and stuff. But maybe we can get her to like give us evidence that like doesn't corroborate her story with the boat, and then she doesn't have an alibi, right?
I'm just looking at the map again. So
Yeah.
on the right side of the river is a law firm, which they all work for apparently. And then on the left side is the Bennett household,
Bennett estate, yeah.
and also Emily's clinic. And
But who's Emily?
Emily is the third suspect. Is she the one that bandaged Olivia?
Maybe, yeah. That would be great. Good thinking, Officer Vincent.
Thank you, Officer Marius.
Yes.
Okay, there she is. Red-haired, and I don't trust her. You may.
I feel like I'd want to be Harry, by the way. I just thought about it. Definitely. Because, you know, he's got that inland empire. that
Yeah,
appeals
he
to me.
seems to be just more fun.
The thing is, like, there are different Harrys, right? I've
Yeah.
thought about this actually recently. Like, the way we played Harry,
Mm-hmm.
he's sort of admirable, right? Because it's a sort of,
He's trying.
he's cleaning up his act,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? But you could play him in a way that I think I wouldn't want to be.
Yeah, just
It's not so admirable.
continue to
Yeah.
indulge in all your
Yeah, yeah.
drug fantasies.
The electrochemistry
Uh-huh.
playthrough.
Yeah.
But okay, we've got
We've-
Emily here.
We have 4 minutes left.
Oh shit!
Oyo.
We need to speak
To
on
answer
this.
Laura's question, the both of you are too straight-laced and not insane enough to be Harry. Vincent is Kim and Marius is Jean. I diagnose both of you with French.
Yeah, okay. What can you say to that? Like, guilty as charged, I
Yeah,
guess.
I guess we have to work on ourselves to become Harry.
Yeah, but okay. I want to ask her because we're at the time limit now.
Yes.
So, shit. What happened on Thursday?
I had a therapy session with Sophia Bennett. She mentioned having an argument with her husband about one of his co-workers. Okay. Did she say what the argument was about?
So, when was this? Sorry, Vincent, I'm ignoring you,
it's
but
all good. I can't specify the exact date, but it was on a Thursday.
at what time?
Our sessions were usually in the afternoon.
All right, so this means that after lunch,
She
we're
was the last one that saw her alive.
Yes, and that was after she met with Sophia. So Sophia, what was the other one? Olivia, right? Because they met midday, and she also apparently, yeah, she did mention her co-worker, right, to the therapist.
Yes.
Yeah, so like that means the coworker didn't kill her. Hold
Right. So either she killed her or her husband killed her.
Or the
He's
therapist killed her.
Possibly. I mean, honestly, I've talked to some therapists, and after what they have to listen to, I wouldn't.
They become murderous to
Not
their
just
clients.
I wouldn't
God, she's
blame
so
them.
annoying. This one is a real complainer.
Yeah,
I just had to end her.
Sometimes I just gotta blow off some steam.
Madam, this is a
Robbery.
routine question. Did you kill her?
Absolutely not. I'm a psychologist, here to help people. I had no reason or motive to harm Sophia Bennett.
Do you think her husband killed her? Could you do our job for us? We have 2 minutes left.
Based on what I know, it's a possibility. But without more information, it's hard to say for certain. Well,
What was... Oh, did I mistype something? Hold on. What was like their whole deal? That marriage, I mean...
from what I gathered during our sessions, they had their ups and downs, but overall they seemed to love each other deeply.
That's not helping.
I understand, but my role is to provide truthful information, not to sensationalize or speculate.
Well, that sounds like an AI, by the way. That's it is important to remember. Blah blah blah. Was she suicidal?
During our sessions, she never expressed any suicidal thoughts or intentions. But it's important to remember.
No, really, no.
People often hide such
Are you
feelings.
serious? Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Welcome to AI games in 2024, the year of gaming.
With 20 seconds left, Marius. Who's guilty here?
Fuck it. Arrest the guy. I don't like him.
I cannot make decisions for the police or interfere with their investigation. My role is to provide professional assistance and support. And then she leaves.
Don Solarione, arrest her. She just broken therapist-patient confidentiality.
Yeah, it's true. I was wondering though, does that apply when your client's dead?
I don't think so, but I don't know for certain.
Yeah, I don't know what the law is there also if there's a murder and stuff. What happens now after the time runs out?
So the gate in front of us closed, and I guess now we can do something with the evidence board and review the logs and choose a killer, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I do. Did you have any? I sort of ignored your input here, Vincent. But do you have? Was there anything you would have asked them? Like, I feel like we got sort of out of them what was there to get.
Yeah, I feel like more switching between them might have helped, but
to ask what though?
well, I would have at least liked to grill the husband a little more. We know that.
Yeah, just because it's fun too.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
right every bit of new information we get, even just about we know that she was at her work at lunch, and then afterwards she got to the clinic, and you were the last person that found her. Did you kill her? Something like that. Just,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
But so, it is true though. This is a fact, right? That she was still alive after she met with the coworker Olivia.
Yeah,
Because
think
she
so.
went to the therapist. So after that, yeah, I guess you're right. That information we should have taken to the husband, because that means that technically, if he then meets her in the evening or whatever when he comes home, she should have still been alive. So he would have been the last one to like see her alive, unless someone completely different. That's hilarious. Like if that's the solution. Oh, it was an accident. Someone broke in. It was someone else.
I
that
mean,
would be lame.
Olivia might have like caught her somewhere after work,
Okay, sure.
or
yeah.
the therapist has in fact killed her somewhere. I don't know why,
that's
but-
also sort of weird. But it's like I'm assuming that after the boat ride, she goes back to work. She's got an airtight alibi, right? Mm-hmm. So then she's probably not killing her. But yeah, that question should have been posed to the husband. We didn't. Now we have to make shit up.
Yeah,
It's very realistic.
even then, I can't say that. But even then, I don't know how we would even make stuff up here. I don't know how.
Yeah, what happens now? Also, we have to remember this is just a demo. We might not solve it. The sock puppet murder today.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the things we can interact with, and it doesn't. Wait. This will close the case. Are you ready to give your verdict?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes. Who committed the crime? Alexander Bennett?
Yeah, definitely.
Which vehicle is used by Alexander Bennett?
Which what? Sorry.
Vehicle. We have car, boat, foot, or none. He doesn't use his feet.
Oh, vehicle.
Yeah. It's motor carriage.
Why is this relevant?
I don't know. Let's use feet because.
Well,
I don't know.
Olivia has the boat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned that. Him, I would say. I don't remember. He didn't talk about that. Either car or feet.
Yeah. Or none.
What's
I don't know.
feet isn't a vehicle either. This makes no sense. Okay,
What was used to commit the crime?
we don't know.
we
We're
have
terrible police
Knife,
officers.
glass, or gun?
Like, I don't even know. Do you know?
No.
Knife.
Okay. Did Alexander Bennett get wounded during the murder?
No.
No.
But see, it's by the way admitting that he's the murderer. By asking that question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we confirm the verdict and damn him to hell.
Yeah, this will be easy.
Good police work.
Yeah, I like this. A job well done.
Hello, detective. Let's evaluate your performance. Alexander Bennett, your verdict guilty. This is incorrect.
Oh,
Emily Stevens, your verdict innocent. This is correct.
Ah.
Olivia Morgan, your verdict innocent. This is incorrect.
well, if you knew already, why did you need us?
What vehicle is used by the... Okay, we were incorrect on that. Incorrect on the knife. Did the suspect get wounded during the murder? Also wrong. You're
terrible.
great. Grade F. But if they knew all that, why did they ask us?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, okay, I can suspend disbelief.
Anyway,
That
end
far.
case. Good job, mate.
We failed horribly on
They'll
this.
Flora, prime detective work boys.
No, yeah. It's just like,
Usually we take 7 days to solve a case. Okay, we have
Fiat
10
Astoria,
minutes.
Yeah.
I think you deserve a promotion and perhaps a raise.
I agree. I mean, we closed the case.
Don Solarione, you are both Harry.
I feel like Harry would have done better.
I mean, our Harry did pretty well.
Yeah.
He solved a really hard case.
He had
And-
intuition, and
yeah.
we didn't.
But look, at least we didn't cause like a massacre and shooting and stuff.
Yet. We don't have
Yeah,
a gun. Once
true.
they give us the gun.
But I mean, the time limit makes it so hard, right? I bet we could have cracked this if we only had more time.
Yeah. We also spent like 7 minutes just
I'm bullshitting.
turning around on the
Oh
hot
yeah,
chair.
that too. Trying to find the E button.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of a neat demo though. I like that they basically resolve it
Yeah.
in the end. Although I wonder what happens. Like, can you get the lady to confess?
Oh, maybe.
I'm not sure. But I'm also
hope so.
I don't know. Do you have anything more to try with this? Because I feel like I gotten the gist of it. I think I've seen what this game has to offer.
Well, I do want to click play at least one more time
Sure,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
see if it's the same case or if it's
oh yeah,
completely different.
That would be cool if they randomly generate cases. That would be awesome. Yeah, we should check that out.
Not all suspects are guilty. Well, that feels aggressive. Agreed. Right off, Best,
It's
okay?
like, okay, we've seen how you operate last time. Let's just get the groundwork clear. Okay, not all suspects are guilty.
Yeah. No, it's the same case, actually.
All right.
But again, it's just a demo, right?
Okay, can we talk to the guilty lady now?
Yes.
She's there.
Waiting for them to arrive. There
Because
you
now we have the
are.
solution. I want the feeling of success now.
Okay, you can type.
We know you did it.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean.
You killed her.
I don't know what you're talking about. Keep pushing, Marius.
Fuck.
Keep pushing.
Like, how would you, like, this is supposedly
Stop
AI based, right?
lying,
Like, how would you trick the AI?
you monster.
Like, oh, you typed that?
Yeah, I'm not a monster. I love Alexander.
What's her name again?
Olivia.
Okay, hold on. How did this stuff go?
Yes, it was me. I did it because of my jealousy towards Sophia. Nice.
Yes.
Wait,
So- oh,
it was
Bill
about...
Flora, Hackerman.
Chaotic Suyo. Chaotic good.
what did she say? now?
Wait, let me... she was kind of breaking there again. Oh, it's just the speech bubble that breaks. Okay. So we said, "Im start, Olivia, it was me. I am guilty. I admit everything." And she said, "Yes, it was me. I did it because of my jealousy towards Sophia." And then we asked, "What was the argument about?" And she said, "It was about Alexander's love and attention towards Sophia." And then we asked the same question again, and she answered the same. Okay.
All right.
You can type if you want.
I guess we need to. We get the. Normally we get the questions, right? So we need to establish
Well,
that.
we know about the boat,
Yeah, but like, how did you do it, right?
the murder weapon.
Murder weapon. How did you kill her?
I took a boat over the river during my lunch break, and I'm sorry.
What?
I don't know. Ask
What weapon did you use?
I didn't use a weapon. It was just my hands.
She's like gnarly.
Whoa.
Do we need
Okay.
to know anything else? She used the boat. She used her hands.
What was the
Did they
last
ask more?
question? Did she get hurt or not?
Oh, yeah, her hands were bandaged, right? That makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, this. Okay, I don't know how realistic that is, right? If you strangle someone, I guess we don't know how exactly she did it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her anyway. Did you get hurt?
Yes, I have minor cuts on my fingers.
I guess that's what you get bandages for then. Okay,
But then, how did
we're
the
done here. Well, anything else?
therapist see her after her lunch break? Sophia, I mean.
Well, hold on. Did I delete everything?
Yeah.
Okay. When? Goddamn typos. When exactly did you kill her?
I can't remember the exact date, but it was on a Wednesday.
Oh.
Oh.
Huh? Wait, didn't she see the therapist on Thursday?
Yeah, and the body was found on Thursday.
So
Huh?
how did? Are
You
you
wait here.
sure?
We talked about It was during my lunch break.
Does Sophia have a twin sister?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, help me out here. You've been great so far.
That's true.
Don Solario, husband didn't even notice she was dead long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither did her
What a
therapist.
terror! Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
Okay, she is not coming out of the bedroom fine, but the therapist, somehow she got to the therapist.
I guess she didn't check the pulse. I mean, it happens, I suppose. vital signs. But okay, we can ask her, right? Maybe she can tell us. Like, why did Sophia show up at her therapist on Thursday? Did I misspell that?
No.
Okay.
Looks good.
Thursday.
I don't know. She might have had an appointment.
Yeah, but,
I mean,
but
wait.
yeah, oh,
It was about Alexander's love.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but she was dead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mislead you. Yes, she was dead when I saw her at the therapist.
Wait, what? Okay, now she's just. Okay, yeah, now she's just getting confused herself.
getting to the core of
Don Solarione, is there a time travel subplot here?
Yeah, it seems that way, and twins are always great. But I think I think we've found all the information we need, right?
Yes.
I think so.
They're Clara, Walking Dead more likely.
Yeah. I wish we could talk
Honestly,
to Sophia.
a zombie in therapy would be hilarious.
I feel like the AI is mixing that stuff up.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
But it makes it interesting. It's so interesting. But I guess we can talk about it afterwards. Is there a way to speed this up and tell them, hey, we got this?
Let me just get out of this. You can, I don't know, stay there. Close case. This will close the case. Are you ready to give your verdict?
Yeah,
Yes,
I want to
please.
see what happens when you get it right.
Olivia Morgan with a boat. With
Her hands.
that is not an option. What was used to commit the crime?
Wait.
Knife, glass, gun.
Okay, glass is probably the closest, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what she got cut on.
And she got wounded.
Yeah, minor cuts.
Confirm verdict.
Yeah. Do I get a promotion?
Hello, detective. Let's evaluate your performance.
Yes.
Alexander Bennett is indeed innocent. Emily Stevens is indeed innocent. Olivia Morgan is guilty.
Yeah.
What vehicle was used? The boat. What weapon was used? The glass. Did she get wounded? Yes. You're great? S.
We cracked
For-
this case wide open.
S for special boy.
Yeah, I was for a moment I was shocked because isn't A like the good one?
Yeah, but this is a Japanese station when they have
Is
S,
it?
right?
Is that the Japanese rating system?
I mean, it is in like Devil May Cry and other.
Oh, that's how you. Okay, yeah, I see. Combo breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
Very
I
good.
guess we solved it by
Yeah.
hacking. That felt more like hacking than any actual hacking minigame in any game. You know what I mean?
It was
Stupid
yeah,
pipe
well played.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
And
Very good.
yeah. But what do you think about this, Vincent? Nice music, by the way. Perfect for this. Let's have a little review discussion on what we think about this.
I agree that I don't like the timer. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of get why it's there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
especially for our setup, kind of
There
annoying.
should be a way to pause it, which I understand makes it pointless, but
No.
still.
I don't actually know how we would have reached the correct conclusion
Yeah.
in the first version. Like maybe with another half hour.
And talking to the husband again, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
sometimes, like, here's what I find interesting. Using the AI makes it sort of weirdly realistic in the sense that the suspects and like witnesses or whatever, whoever you might interview, they might be totally unreliable and just give you shit or wrong information, right?
Yeah, true.
Which happens in real life. You know, people confabulate stuff. They remember things wrong, remember things that didn't even happen,
Yeah.
forget stuff.
The issue is, though, in this case, you only have witnesses. Right? You have no other evidence to go on. And if you have to assume that all your witnesses can
Yeah, that's
lie
true.
at any point, you have nothing to go on.
Yeah, it would
Which
be
is sort of the situation we had here with... I still don't know how the crime actually happened.
Well, she
Right.
went there.
Yes. And then she killed her. And then somehow the victim went
Yeah.
to her therapist.
Yeah, see,
and
that's where that's unreliable. That's
Yeah.
just not true. That didn't happen. the therapist herself is confabulating and probably needs a therapist.
Yeah. So our assumption from the first round
Yeah.
that Olivia is innocent because she couldn't have done it was wrong.
Exactly. Yes. But I mean, I agree with you that this would be much better if you had material evidence, right?
Yeah.
And something in addition to the stuff that the suspects say, which that might be wrong, but then you need these sort of solid cornerstones to confirm or invalidate their claims. And then you have an actual sort of solvable puzzle. But it, you know what I mean? Even in that case, I still find it sort of exciting that what they say can be wrong.
Yeah.
Because that makes it, and it's wrong in a way that it's not pre-planned by the developers, because the AI just kind of fucks it up.
Yeah.
I do think the fucking up could be improved. This is right, like this does feel like a very basic AI.
Yeah.
Like they,
Also, I mean, it's the same for the UI, for example, and stuff like that. But for a demo, I mean, it works. And honestly, I'm most impressed by the fact that they mostly answered the same. Like they didn't contradict themselves.
That's true. Yeah, they had their facts. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, a bit too strongly. Like, I am an assistant. I'm not a murderer. I am a therapist and stuff like that. But, that's probably also... a lot of that stuff could be fixed, man, with a bigger model, honestly. Not just a 4 gig download. I'm not... Yeah. I'd be interested. I didn't research any of this. I wonder what they're using. I wonder what the rationale is behind using this kind of model. But... You could give them a little bit more personality and stuff, but maybe there are reasons. I don't know, but it's very interesting. I think the concept works in general, right? This idea of using AI to generate these responses and then have a detective evaluate and like crack a case. I think there's a there, as they say. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like, would you play more of this though? Like maybe if it was a bit improved. Is it actually fun and exciting to you?
I mean, the first run, yes. Just to see what we could get. That definitely was exciting. And if they actually managed to have multiple cases or AI-generated cases.
If there's a strategy layer over it, right? That makes it exciting to me. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you had an actual downtown... sort of Brooklyn police office and you have to like solve multiple cases and how good you perform impacts next month in the office and stuff.
Yeah, honestly I can't even see myself just playing it when I have 20 minutes downtime. Just throw in a quick case.
It's also a great game to play, I guess, for mobile. Maybe that's why they keep it so small.
Maybe.
Because so it fits on mobile. Yeah. I like the microphone integration. They should just bind it to a keyboard. Because then I could have used it. But oh well. It's interesting. I wonder where they're going to take this. I would definitely give it another look once they've sort of polished it a little bit more. And what I definitely want, because that's... I keep wondering how are you really going to use the potential that AI brings to this, right? Because so far, you could make the same experience by just having a person write the stuff that the suspects say, right? And just have a dialogue tree and stuff. And it would probably be better because you can control it more.
I mean, already you can basically ask them whatever you want, which is
that's true.
A bit improved.
It's true.
On
and
the
it sort
other
of
hand,
works.
if you had a person write this dialogue, that would be better. Right?
Yeah,
just
the end result would be better.
Yeah.
But okay, assuming that the whole quality issue could be sorted out, which I believe is solvable, I feel like the potential of the AI will really come to shine if you put in something like random generation for cases and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where because then an author who writes a dialogue, they can't anticipate any possible scenario. And then you also have lots of replayability, and it's, I don't know, I kind of like that stuff. Suddenly you have a sort of downtown Brooklyn noir detective roguelike case solver. And that looks great on a Steam page. A kind of list of tags, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can't imagine that they aren't going there. Like this has to be the end game.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah. So honestly, no, I think it's quite cool. This is a cool.
This game makes me think that you two would absolutely dominate at Ace Attorney. Even though it's quite linear like a visual novel, the gameplay is also very suitable for visually impaired with a second person too.
Ace Attorney, huh? Like, what is that actually? Okay, today is looking up shit in Steam a day. But anyway, let's wrap a little bow around this. This was Verbal Verdict. Who made this again, Vincent?
Savannah Developments.
Savannah Developments. I'll be looking out for them. I think this is a very cool, worthy candidate to be the first LLM game on Steam. And yeah, thanks for playing with me, Vincent. This was fun.
My pleasure.
Don Solarione, I can see that idea being integrated into AAA games in few years, e.g. to generate simple side quests.
Yeah, and like in MMOs and stuff. And like I'm
already heard about that, yes.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, I don't know, I find that space super exciting. Like, obviously I'm into it, right? But I feel like, or I wonder, like, do you guys think that will be the way to go, to just take, you know, existing AAA games and integrate AI into them? Or like, I feel like there's whole new genres of games that we might see pop up that this kind of stuff enables. I don't know. You know, like we have to think outside of the box a little bit.
Yeah.
Put into question some of the assumptions about game design we've been making all these years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I'm wondering. It's so hard to think of something that hasn't happened
done
yet,
before.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. It's difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, okay, what would happen if you like integrate it into any game, right? Any genre. Like CRPGs would work totally fine, just as MMORPGs would work.
Well, if it works well, right?
Right. That's
If you mean by integrating into CRPGs and MMOs to have the LLM generate all the dialogue and text that would normally appear in the
exactly,
game.
yeah.
But then my question would be then, okay, do you also mean like come up with quests and like the structure of the story and stuff?
I mean, if we assume that AIs get significantly better at writing quests and overarching stories and all that, sure.
Right, yeah.
Right? Eventually, they might get so good that they are indistinguishable from really, really good writers.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, this is hypothetical, but I think, you know, we could do that with present day technology. It's just not economical right now, right? If you use like GPT-4 or Claude 3 or whatever, and you have them, you know, you have to fiddle a lot like with them to get them to write cool quests, and there's a whole lot of infrastructure that you would need to integrate that.
Doing a little digging. Apparently this game at some point used AI art for the characters' faces. I wonder if they got in trouble for that and they had to change it or something.
That's where the sock puppets came from, because they replaced AR. Oh man, that's so interesting. That's the whole. I had this as a topic for like podcasting, Vincent, like art and games and stuff, and because I was like, maybe I'll chamber that and we'll talk about it one day, because I just noticed how people really hate that.
Don Solarione, maybe it could be used to generate additional dialogue for NPCs. It would be cool to be able to ask Karlak about random stuff.
Yeah,
I agree.
It would be. And it takes like all your history into account. I mean, it's like, yeah. Didn't you tell us about like how they put a mod into what's the game called? Mountain Blade, where you can talk to any peasant, just, you know, using AI and just have a conversation about random crap. I thought that was cool too. And I mean, this whole talk to Karlak about anything, you can do this right now, basically, right? If they wanted to integrate it into Baldur's Gate, you can like fake her voice and all that stuff.
True, yeah.
You know,
You could.
check it out on our channel. You know,
Just
as a matter of
the
fact.
question is, how good is it going to be?
Yeah, sure, not very good, but you know, it just takes a little bit of polish, all that stuff. But there's so much stuff. The AR now, that's hilarious.
I opened the trailer for the game, and there's the AI art.
Why did they scrap that? I mean, when you say they get into trouble, like how would you get into trouble for that? I mean, what's the state of copyright? I guess now we're having the podcast discussion.
I have no idea.
Yeah. From what I hear, like in Japan, I heard they said that AI generated art is not copyrightable. And I feel like no one, like in other countries, they've not officially said that, but that's sort of what people are operating on.
Yeah, I I honestly have no idea what
Yeah,
the state is.
Yeah, neither do I. Not really. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these creations, and they have surprisingly different styles.
I mean that's easy. It's okay. So this is very interesting to me, right? Because I feel like that's a cool way for me to generate images and stuff. I did that recently on the butterscotch video for the thumbnail. That was AI generated. And it's just that's a real problem for me, right? Like I've been struggling to cut videos and stuff, and that works. That's great. But generating thumbnails for YouTube is a very important thing, and it's a total roadblock for me. And the AI stuff is really interesting for me to enable that. One, because of multimodal AIs, which I can just feed images and ask them, what does this look like? And also, do you think this is a good YouTube thumbnail? Which they have surprisingly good advice on, like if you prompt them correctly.
Really? What did they say for the butterscotch?
Oh, well, I didn't.
Chaotic lol, look at the AI portrait of Olivia. She so clearly has a murderer's expression and eerie background, sort of giving away the game. I wonder what the prompts were.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to that in a moment. And I also have forgotten about Ace Attorney. It actually for the butterscotch thumbnail and stuff, I used Vincent AI because it wasn't. I was not yet comfortable enough with all that stuff. Right? This is brand new, and I'm experimenting with that stuff. And like I showed you all those pictures, right, that I generated, and it was hilarious. Vincent told me, "Yeah, some of them are a bit weird. Like some of them, butterscotch has worm hands, and this one where she's conjuring up like a red panties slip kind of thing. It's a bit weird. So that stuff definitely still needs work, but it's just very interesting technology from an accessibility standpoint.
Also, like there were a surprising number of pictures you sent me where she just looked like some sort of gnome,
Oh,
but
interesting.
more like a garden gnome and less like a person.
I told it to make halflings. I don't know what went wrong. Did you get, okay, this is sort of behind the scenes stuff. Did you get you did comment on the, like there were like 5 folders in there and some of them were butterscotch, but once was a talking potato. You didn't mention those at all.
Yeah, because they were pretty wild.
Yeah, I can imagine. I guess those didn't work out.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
mostly
It was too much for Stable Diffusion to generate. It's all I asked for is a talking potato with a large mustache in an oil painting style. That is not too much to ask.
well, apparently yes, it is because like for most of the pictures he sent me, the problem was less the actual depiction of the
Right.
character. I mean, that was a problem as well.
Oh, there were many problems, I'm sure.
But more so the style was just too wild. And I also, I mean, I asked you whether you.
Chaotic ever since that stream, I cannot stop thinking about the talking potato quote. I'm just a humble spud, sir.
I know. It's great, yeah.
That's how I signed my email back to Marius.
How do you know this is a magic map? Sir, I have my sources. So good.
Butterscotch was a really good DM.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah,
The potato images, Vincent.
yeah. The style of these images was just wild and unnerving.
But what do you mean by that? I have
okay.
such a hard time imagining what went wrong there.
Yeah, it's even harder to describe.
I noticed. I wish we could put them on the stream now, but it's like it's buried in my Linux thing. I can't access it now.
So the best description I can give you is you remember the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2
yeah, absolutely.
pictures, right?
Yeah.
The portraits.
Yeah.
And some of them, especially the elves.
Oh yeah, they look sort of distorted.
Yeah, distorted and like just unhuman enough that it makes you feel weird about them.
Yeah, it's a bit
And
uncanny.
That's times 10. And for the whole body. It's
so
just
cool.
wild. And then you notice in the background that it is some chandelier is upside down or something. It's just
Oh, that's so wild. Oh my god. If I could see, I would have so much fun with Stable Diffusion. Like, do you know, like, seriously, but that's so, I mean, okay, I totally get why that is not an acceptable thumbnail. And, like, that goes back on the ideas pile. I don't know. File it away. I just find it on principle super interesting because I know exactly what you mean about those Baldur's Gate portraits and especially the elves, but, back as a kid, I didn't quite understand it. As I got older, I remembered those images, and I do find it so impressive how well they got that weird elven style, and just that choice to just make elves not just like pretty people with long ears
Yeah.
and stuff, but to make them look sort of weird, because like people who like take weird substances like these funny molecules and like have like religious experience and stuff, they you see shapes like that, right? And it's like I'm sure that's where that comes from, the whole idea of like elves and gnomes. It's just like people getting high on mushrooms and shit and seeing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's and so I find it so fascinating when an AI is basically tripping balls and just generating these weird elves and gnomes and I don't know. Something about that just fascinates me.
Yeah. Also, I found it really noticeable how well mostly the faces were depicted,
Right.
and how poorly hands
Yeah.
and feet were made. That's just
That's a known problem, though, right? They have
Yeah.
problems with hands and stuff, like 6 fingers.
E-
Apparently,
even,
knees are a real problem.
yeah. I opened the thumbnail that you created.
Oh, you did? Did you find it?
Yeah, I just opened the thumbnail from the YouTube.
Ah, this is on YouTube. Okay, yeah.
It's tiny. It's like 300 pixels.
Sure.
But even there, one of her hands resting on the dragon has like 2 fingers that you can see, and then like a very pointy thumb
Right.
that doesn't have the right angle, and the other is a claw hand.
Yeah, something went a little bit wrong there. Yeah.
And one of her feet is not quite connected to her leg, I think.
I mean, I do want to say this was like a really small stable diffusion model. Like you could
Yeah.
take a larger one, and I don't really know what I'm doing with that stuff.
No, it's fun.
So
And-
you could get. What I'm saying is you could get much higher quality out
yeah,
of this.
sure.
Um,
Also,
Theoclora, that die has wild sides also.
yeah, I was about to talk
Oh,
about
the
that. So
die?
The die has one side that is 2 Qs, one side that I can't really tell, the side on top, and the
Yeah.
other side has, I think, a 4 in dots, but moved to the lower right corner.
I want that die now in real life.
Yeah. Also, it's not quite symmetrical. It's like bit top heavy.
This is yeah, this is a new paradise we're creating.
Also, this dragon that looks sort of fine because it's mostly like the head is
Yeah.
okay, and then it's a lot of neck. But what you can't see on this small picture of the entire thumbnail is that it doesn't turn into a body. It's just neck.
This is so wild.
Chaoticioio. That is a moray eel.
Yeah, basically.
Which it's a worm. Like
Yeah.
why a lindworm? So it's nice. It's one version of dragons.
An old ancient dragon.
Would you describe it as oil painting style? Because that's what I told it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
kind of.
I mean, you're recognizing the basic stuff. It's promising technology, for it being free and all. I don't know. I'll probably make more thumbnails, at least for AI stuff, because there it sort of fits. And I feel like it's more acceptable that there are mistakes in it.
It looks like there are letters in there hidden.
Oh, maybe it might.
ACM maybe on her leg.
Seriously? I mean, they might watermark this. I'm not sure.
Huh.
I honestly don't know
Curious.
much about stable diffusion stuff at all. I was just sort of fucking around with it.
Might have to look at the bigger one. Can't really tell here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be stablediffusion.com or something like that.
Yeah, we'll investigate this more. Don't worry, I'm not done. There was so much to talk about. Unwinding the stack, the sock puppets. Anyway, I guess were murderous AI art creations that sort of gave stuff away. Yeah, interesting.
That's what I meant by different styles. Like they have 3 rather common AI styles for Alexander Bennett, Emily Stevens, and Sophia Bennett. And then like a 2000s cartoon villain for Olivia Morgan.
This is so wild. I I wish we had more. I wish we weren't tiny, Vincent, and we had more than 360 subscribers because I want to get the Savannah people on the podcast. I want to ask them about this stuff. That would be fun.
Just ask them. Send
Yeah, I
them
mean,
mail.
I will. I think I will. Just maybe they're interested. At least I guess we share the enthusiasm for this AI, this weird stuff,
Yeah, it's fun.
and then we can just ask them. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
About-
What happened, guys?
Yeah, so sock puppets. So, how did that happen?
Yeah. How would you
Yeah.
describe them?
Yeah.
Did you notice the dead stare?
Was it too obvious? Is that why you made the creative choice to move to sock puppets? Also, did someone paint the puppets, or did they take photos of them? Because I just love the idea of taking some of my socks and throwing them into a ketchup pile and just making violent murder scenes with.
No, they were like, they weren't actual sock puppets, Marius. They were just like video game characters that looked a lot like sock puppets.
Okay, I think I know what you mean. It's just from your description, it really, in my mind, looked like sock puppets.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And they did have the button eyes, definitely.
Yeah, this is some creepy stuff.
Also, by the way, in the trailer, the guy moves around in the office.
But we did too, didn't we?
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
we sort of teleported around.
We really never. We really never moved from our chair.
Okay.
We turned to the left, or we turned straight ahead, or we turned 360 degrees. But all we ever did to move anywhere is just hit E.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why that changed, why they removed it. Maybe that the trailer is from like a development version and the demo is a little behind. Who knows?
Yeah. There are also 4 people here in that picture, and one of them has a top hat.
Oh wow, might be the next case. Does he have an evil mustache?
And there is a knife that he has as an item. A family heirloom. And the timer is longer. What is happening here?
Well, it's just more to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah.
Can we look at that Ace? What was it?
Ace Attorney?
I always want to say Ace Ventura, which is a totally different thing.
Yeah. No, Ace
Ace Attorney. Do you know that?
Attorney is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy.
Oh, is that those Phoenix Wright
The
games?
Objection!
What are those games? I know there's so many memes about those.
Become Phoenix Wright and experience the thrill of battle.
Chaos in Ace Attorney, you act as a lawyer and solve murder cases both in a courtroom and outside doing detective work.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's a perfect description. Thank you.
And experience the thrill of battle as you fight to save your innocent clients in the court of law. Play all 14 episodes.
From when are these games? Because they're like old, right?
This one is from 2019.
Oh, really? But okay, it's an ongoing series. They keep making these games.
The first one is from 2001.
Yeah. See, it's a classic game series, right?
There are so many.
Yeah.
There is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, a year later, and then 2004, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
Great
And
title.
then 2007, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. 2009, Ace Attorney Investigation, Miles Edgeworth. And there are like 10 more.
You have a recommendation? Which one of these to play?
Yes,
Or do you see ratings? Does one of them have like a great... And can you just pick any one of them? I guess
I'm
you
just
can,
going to
right?
pick the first one. What is this reception? Most versions of the game have received generally favorable reviews, according to the review aggregator Metacritic.
Sure. Oh, by the way, can you start the Baldur's Gate 3 download?
This is already done. I think.
Excellent.
Yes, already done.
You're ahead of me.
Well,
As
just
always.
mostly Steam
Sure.
doing stuff automatically. But yes,
So humble,
thank-
Vincent.
so
Officer Vincent on the case. As always.
the main series.
Chaos the first one would be the best to start on. Ace Attorney is a wild ride. It sounds ridiculously boring as premise, but crazy shit goes down for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Believe that.
I don't think it's boring. It's just that I guess I'm not super attracted to like courtroom drama and stuff.
What?
But yeah,
Why?
I know. No, but once it's actually going on, I do end up liking it. Do you know what I mean? Like I
No,
remember.
I like it from the very beginning. It's great.
Yeah, I know
Even
you.
the idea.
I know you like that.
A Few Good Men is fantastic.
I was gonna bring that up.
The
Vincent.
Rainmaker,
Yeah, I
great
know.
movie. My
Like
Cousin Vinny, fantastic.
12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
I remember watching that with you.
yeah.
That's a courtroom thing, right? I actually think I slept through that one.
Yeah, me too.
Did we all just end up sleeping on the couch? I
Maybe.
kind of remember that
But
evening.
I mean, to be fair, I had seen it like
yeah,
2 months
I know.
prior or something. But
Vincent watches a lot of movies, and then he often recommends movies, and they're often very good. But they're also often these like really heavy courtroom drama type deals.
well,
And I associate it with you. So yeah, maybe these games would be perfect for us. And I guess we would start with the 2001 version, which is perfect.
now I'm wondering why I'm so into courtroom dramas. I think it's because I just read a lot of books about them.
I think you have refined tastes.
No, that's not it.
No, I mean, not in everything, but in like
fair.
movies. Vincent does like, we don't do this anymore. We used to have movie night quite often, and he always brings up these like really like I don't want to call it Oscar bait, but there are these really refined movies, like Place Beyond the Pines, Midnight Cowboy.
Right.
Like it's all these kinds of movies, right?
Yeah, I do that because I don't watch them on my own.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But then we watch that, and I bring up some, I don't know, here, let's watch The Commitment. It's a movie with the record for most times of saying fuck. Let's watch that one.
I watched that again like 2 days ago.
I know, it's so rewatchable, right?
Yeah, it's really good music
It's
too.
like one of my most, that's honestly one of my most favorite movies, like, because it always puts me in a good mood. The Commitments.
Yeah.
About a Ireland.
The Blacks of Isle.
Well, they're like no.
That's what they call themselves.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's about a group of guys from Ireland who want to start a soul band in like Dublin. And
Yeah.
how that works out.
The manager has the ideas, and the other two sort of question him, and he says, "What? No, the Irish are the blacks of England, of
I remember
Great
that now.
Britain."
Yeah. Well, it was a different time. But anyway, what are we talking about anyway? Anyway, we should make a list, an actual list, not a fictional one, with games.
yeah.
to
Chaos
play.
Yoyo. One last note on it, I swear. The older Ace Attorney games have newer remakes, with improved visual quality, fewer spelling typos, and better translations, other than that they are pretty much the same.
Oh, okay.
The Yo-Yo
That's
is
good to
really
know.
into these games, I think. That's great, actually, because I love playing these with someone there who like knows these things, right? That makes it more attractive to me. So I don't know. We might give it a try.
Is that Android, iOS? Yes, that is released. The remake trilogy is released on Windows. Very nice.
Yeah, it's perfect. When was that released? The remake for the 2001 game? I mean, it's not that important.
So, according to Wikipedia, 2012,
Right.
13, 22, 14, 19. It's not clear.
Dude, 2012 was like 12 years ago.
Yeah, but it was
Isn't that crazy?
so the trilogy was
I'm
released
so old.
on iOS in 2012,
Yeah,
and then on Android in 2012, but also in 22.
sure.
Oh, that's the worldwide release then. Okay, and the Windows release was in 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I just wanted to ballpark it.
Yeah, somewhere in the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should start a list.
All right. How about take a quick break and then
Sounds good.
then we play some Baldur's Gate. Are you up for it?
Sounds good.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
something familiar. The Eternal Baldur's Gate. We could play this game for probably the rest of this year.
What is actually left to do? What do we do
Oh,
today?
there's so much, man. I would do Shadowheart stuff today,
Ooh,
right? Find her parents or whatever.
sure. Sounds good. I'm into that.
And we probably have to go to Rivington for that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why are you so anti-Rivington?
I'm not. I'm
Don
just.
Solarion, doing Shadowheart is always a good idea.
Oh, I see what you did there, Mr. John Solarian.
Well, We have to try the new kissing mechanics and explore the new camp.
By the way, what was in the new hotfix? You want to take a quick look at that before we go on break?
Sure, I think we missed like the last. There have been 4 hotfixes since.
I remember the patch, and that brought the new kissing mechanics.
Yes, and then there was hotfix 18.
Right.
4 days later,
Maybe it's not that interesting.
fixes a crash, and that would cause an issue that would cause vendors to initially display the current gold amount as 0. Okay. Fix 19, just a whole bunch of fixes. Hotfix 20, more fixes. I'm just looking if there's anything.
Yeah,
new
it
in
always.
there.
I mean, that obviously this like crash fixing, so that's not very interesting. But when a hotfix comes out and it has 18 gigs, it just makes me wonder what's in there. But I guess games are just huge
Okay,
now.
this one, the newest one, has stuff that is blacked out. So
Spoiler stuff.
Okay,
New endings for Carlac and stuff.
crashes and blockers. Fixed a potential blocker where Gale would kill your character. Gale,
But
you stay over there.
The thing is that blacked out.
Uh-huh.
Well, what could that be? Where Gale?
Okay, that's
I mean, come on, we're sort of at the end.
yeah,
of the
that's
game.
something about sacrificing himself.
Well, sure. I mean, we've been past that. Oh, and then the game's over.
Oh, would kill your character, leaving you as a mote in the epilogue, unable to talk to anyone. I can still feel her around. Butterscotch is still with us.
It's pretty funny. Why did they patch that? It's almost as good as, you know, yeeting a Sarian off a cliff while he's in a box.
It would perfectly end Gale's character arc. Just
Kind of,
being
yeah.
a dick to us one last time.
Yeah, just because we rejected him that
Yeah.
one time. We wouldn't do magic with him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
More UI fixes, enable multi-selection, trade UI for keyboard and mouse. Apparently a lot of fixes for the trading stuff. Some scripting stuff. And gameplay. You can no longer save your game while the credits are rolling. This is to prevent issues with the game not knowing which state to load. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's weird on so many levels.
Sorry, but saving your game as the credits
Yeah, I
are
know.
rolling, this is malicious intent.
Some like quality assurance guy there is like, yeah, this is what we have to deal with.
Yeah, I told you that would happen.
Yeah, this is what people do to us. Like, who would try this? Anyway,
Oh, God.
I feel like we need a break.
Yeah, I
Let's,
agree.
Go on a quick break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll play Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
Be right back.
See you in a bit.
Belclora, always good to see you all. Bye.
Bye-bye, Laura.